Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me a lot, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather, be weather, be trippin', starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, Lucius. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling their soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a slice, extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge the teller? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame, ever blinking the rain? It helps when your wise drive. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Man, dream on, yeah. Dream on, Dreamweaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. We are back in the building. Got the homie Carter Presents with me, the immortal Carter in the building. What is going on, people? I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. Hope you're drinking your water, unclenching your jaw, all that good stuff, all the good things. Carter, how you been? How you doing?
I'm stretching out this Douce. I'm gonna make this shit last.
Is that the same bottle of Douce you've been drinking on?
Mind your business. You take some sips and you leave it the fuck alone. I'm chilling, bro. As you know, I've been fucking around with my Vita recently, and we got Max Payne and San Andreas on the Vita now. So that's what I've been doing when I'm not sleeping all fucking day.
When not
But
that's fair. That's actually very fair.
And honestly, with this HBO Max, I've been trying to catch up on shit that I just didn't watch. So, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm finally getting around to watching Rick and Morty for the first time.
I have to ask. What did you think of the Rickster?
I'm only on the third episode when Rick made Morty a love potion, but the flu virus got mixed with the love potion, and then he turned everybody into mantis. That is some of the.
You know what your fucked up part is?
What's
That's
that?
The least craziest episode.
So my coworker is the one who keeps telling me to watch it because she thinks the shit's hilarious. She started telling me about some kind of in the most recent season. There are fucking semen monsters running around killing people.
Oh, in the fourth season, yeah. There are semen monsters.
How have you been, Ernie?
I feel like we just broke Carter. No, no, man, I'm good. Just, man, I'm still kind of not waking up, but I'm just kind of figuring my shit out.
Yeah. Another thing I was doing, I put on my Tech 9 shirt to see if it still fit on account of me going to the concert this week.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Look at you.
Well, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because I get to go to another Tech 9 concert. It's a bad thing because that nigga's having his concert on a Tuesday. Who has concerts on a Tuesday?
Tech 9 on Tuesday?
It ain't even Tech 9 on Tuesday. Who has rap concerts in general on a Tuesday?
I'm actually sitting here trying to think about it. I'm like, I'm reflecting now because I'm thinking like, when the fuck was that Bone Thugs concert with the 3-6 Mafia here? Well, it was not necessarily in Memphis; it was Memphis adjacent. But I'm sitting here thinking like, was that on a Tuesday?
Like just who thinks?
I think it was on a Saturday. Actually,
you see what I'm saying? Like on a Tuesday night, who just thinks, you know what I want to do, dog? I want to go to a rap concert.
I mean,
man, you ironing your clothes and putting that starch on them dickies for your work day in the morning. You ain't worried about going to a goddamn rap concert, but I'm going. So,
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But people, what's going on with y'all? I hope y'all are doing great. I hope.
I see the donation. Get that shit out your system. Go on, do it.
Yeah, we do. We got a super chat here from Leather Jacket Anti-Hero with the Are you ready, Carter? Yeah, he's ready. 1999 super chat saying, "What's up, family? Not sure what I came in on though. Semen monsters."
Keep in mind, I put these headphones all the way under the goddamn shirt and still heard you. I don't like it.
I did that on purpose. But no, Yeah, we were talking about the fourth season of Rick and Morty, where there's an episode where the family has to contend with semen monsters. And here's the fucked up part. That's the least gross thing that happens in that episode.
I saw them riding them like goddamn seahorses, which was so gross.
They did that as well. Also, not the most gross thing that happens in that episode. Thank you for the super chat. What's up, RDR70? What's going on, Phil? Oh god. Oh, we got us another one in here. I feel like you should have like the motherfucking what's the motherfucker's name? Khaled, DJ Khaled, like another one.
Oh god.
Oh god. Here we got Asar MK. Better be what? You say the motherfucker.
That was a nigga name off the money, wasn't it?
Yeah. Wait,
that man put hands on Brendan Fraser in that movie. I saw it.
Dude, you know some of the most racist shit that I never realized until like I got a little bit older after that movie came out. Remember the little skinny dude that was running with him?
Yeah.
Who like motherfucker was like trying to pray to every god.
Yeah.
But here's the fucked part. You know that dude, they were trying to convince you that dude was Egyptian. That was one of the whitest white motherfuckers I'd ever seen in my life. That's like, dude, Hollywood used to be racist as fuck. I'm going to address the super chat here in just a minute, but I just got to say this. You want to have your opinion of aliens changed? You know Vasquez? The character Vasquez, the Mexican woman, the Mexican soldier on Aliens, was not Mexican.
Oh no, she wasn't.
That was a whole ass white woman.
Yeah. I did know that. Yeah,
go back and watch Terminator. Go back and watch Terminator 2. The stepmom, John Connor's foster mom.
Yeah.
In that movie that stabbed the motherfucker with the knife arm. Mm-hmm. That's Vasquez. Same actress.
Never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Never knew that.
But anyway, Asar MK says, better be some motherfucking Carnage in here today. Proceed, gents. Thank you for that $5.
You need to stop saying his name because Lamar Rolak is in the chat saying my damn lamp started floating. It's probably because you're saying that name too goddamn much. You better stop it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna read this other super chat from Jesse Smith with the five time. Hey folks, something for the lights. Do you have a moment to comment on the end of Die? I just finished asking Ernie how he felt about that before we started the show. Ernie, how did you feel about this last issue of Die, sir?
Oh man. Okay, so fuck it. Let's go ahead and talk about it right now. So Die. As I told Carter, I liked this issue of Die. I liked the finality of it. It was bittersweet. It was a bittersweet ending. And it actually did kind of, it touched the motherfucker's heart. In a lot of ways, just because it's not a happy ending. But it's not a sad, it's not a happy ending, and it's not a 100% sad ending. It's a very realistic ending.
Yeah,
is the best way to put it. Without going too deep into the minutia of everything that's going on, when these people return from the game, their lives don't just go back to most movies and TV shows when people like disappear for a long stretch of time, they come back, everybody's like, oh, everything's just fine. No, you got to explain some shit.
Yeah,
you got to explain to the police where you've been. Your house done been repossessed. Wait, yo kids, you'd have missed 5 birthdays out this motherfucker. Your husband done left you, and your kids don't want to see you no more.
This nigga said your house been repossessed.
That's what happened to the one. What was it? Izzy.
That's what was because that's why she was in the hotel. That's right.
Yeah, she was sitting in the hotel drinking box wine. because her house that got repossessed. That's the thing. It ain't no happy ending. No one walks away clean from that game. The only, and like I told Carter, my only criticism of the comic, that issue, I was like, I liked the reveal as to where the game comes from, where the master comes from, like how it was all created.
Motherfucking token bastard.
Right. Well, not only that, but they literally, he basically had to incite a world war to inspire Tolkien to do that shit. Like all the pieces that had to come together. And it was awesome, but at the same time, I didn't like how long it took them to explain it. That's my, because they went so long that I kind of knew where it was going, but then my eyes started glazing over because like it was just going too fucking long. And Kieran Gillen does everything. Sometimes he runs a little long in the tooth when it comes to some of that dialogue, but that's
Wicked
okay.
and Divine.
Look,
it did it. I love that book.
Look,
it had its moments of doing that shit.
Look, why would you say something so controversial yet so brave? I mean, you ain't wrong. You ain't lying. Well, I need to get that because like that man's out of line, but he ain't wrong. But no, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm sad that it's over. It did end on the perfect issue because die role playing games D20.
Didn't put that together because I don't play a lot of role playing games. That's actually that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Like you actually end here. Let's
I don't need you to throw. Don't throw the dice down. Don't do that. Don't do that ugly ass shit where you put it in your fingers. Like, okay, you just did like that. Even though your camera out of focus like a motherfucker. We ain't gonna talk about it. I thought you were gonna put that shit in your hands. Like,
look at that shit.
Oh my God.
No. I wish I could. But look, I did, dude. What I did love that last shot. That last shot where they let you know.
It was in his eye.
Yeah, and it ain't over. It ain't over.
I know the one thing you did bring up was like them coming back to the real world, and they came back. Everybody looking at them crazy, like where your mask at? They don't know about COVID. COVID didn't happen.
Well, no, what I love is that, we came in and people were asking us where our masks were, and they seemed confused when we said we didn't know what was going on. And it's like, motherfucker, y'all missed COVID. You ain't missed COVID. You came in on, like, could you imagine, like, just sleeping through 2020? Like, you just been somewhere else, and you come back, and all this shit happening. Die was amazing. I'm sorry.
They missed Trump presidency.
Dude, oh my God. Yeah, dude. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. Maybe going and living in the world of Die might have been worth it.
Yeah, that is crazy though. That's a really nice way to put it. It wasn't a happy ending, but it wasn't a bad one either because they still didn't come back whole.
No.
Old boy still over there dead and gone.
Oh yeah.
But he's not really dead.
He ain't really dead. It's awesome. I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got one from King Coon to $5 super chat. Says, "What up, Triple OGs? I got a question. We need new Quiet Council members. Who you think can be them? P.S. Charles Magneto had one job, fam.
Well, shit. We don't need new council members since we got that last one.
Well, no, they still missing. They still missing a seat because it was 2 seats that are vacant.
Huh.
They still got to fill in that other seat. Look, Namor still got time to get his shit right. He still got time to work that apology out. Because now they got a whole planet. This motherfucker just got an ocean.
Where's Apocalypse and all this, man?
He's still he probably got Genesis in the motherfucking cattle mutilation. Got her into the LaBelle lock, got her tapping out.
We got a $5 super chat from SFC Killer. Man, can we get a hand clap for them 2 sisters on Titans looking all good, even though the story in Titans making all the nonsense?
I ain't gonna lie. I haven't watched I guess I haven't watched the last little bit of it, but I will say I actually do love the actresses. I know Anna Diop is the
do I
This motherfucker who plays Starfire. I forget the name of the actress who plays Blackfire, but you know what? It's 2021, so why live in ignorance?
I mean, now that Doom Patrol's back, I don't give a fuck about
Damaris Lewis. There you go.
Yeah, now that Doom Patrol's back, I don't give a fuck about Titans.
I mean, look, hey, did you catch the last episode?
Yeah, I did.
Of Doom Patrol. That shit was lit. I fucking love that shit. Dude.
The fact that these motherfuckers are still talking and having conversations while zombified.
That was like some supernatural shit. It's the fucked up part. And then you got Crowley who was all supernatural, right? Yeah, Crowley's on the motherfucker. Actually, you know what I love? You know, they could have just as easily brought in John Constantine. But they brought in Crowley. I'm actually kind of glad Constantine ain't there. I like Crowley.
Nah, I couldn't. So I couldn't remember who the bad guy was in this episode. And then when they kept saying his name and they showed his face, I'm like, oh, that dude.
Mm-hmm.
But to now know that we have a werebutt, a zombie werebutt on the loose, a zombie werewolf booty. Where butt?
Where booty? Look, and that motherfucker is like literally.
The booty literally said brains running down the street.
Dude, I hollered. I hollered
when he turned into it because I was not expecting him to
turn
into the where butt.
I wasn't either. I was not either because I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know getting bit by some ass.
Look,
every man who eats ass watching Doom Patrol is terrified right now.
Look, you said that. Look, you look. You be down there. Well, actually, hell, you eating anywhere near close to the butt, you be like, you ain't going. you ain't about to on me like that.
Man. No salad tosser is safe. Watch the fucking Doom Patrol.
Danger.
Damn. This shit was wild, bro. But yeah, Doom Patrol, I'm sorry. Every time I think Doom Patrol outdid themselves,
I promise.
They come back and do it again. Look, if you thought that Flex Mentalo shit we were talking about like way back, y'all thought that was the wildest shit they ever did?
Watch this episode and see a bunch of were-booties getting slaughtered with chainsaws. And so I love we gonna get off it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get off the butt.
Oh my god.
But the fact that how some of them were killing them were jokes in and of themselves was hilarious. The fact that Jane was eating ass to kill the were-butt.
Okay. She was eating the whole butt.
The fact that Cliff fisted one, I lost it because I realized what they were doing.
Yeah, dude, they don't give a fuck on that show, and I fucking love it. I'm here for it. I'm 1,000% here for it. Man, we got another one. We got the $5 super chat. Said childhood ruined. Vasquez being a badass Mexican is what made me love the diversity in that movie. And that's the thing. Here's the fucked up part. I was watching an interview with the actress, who once again, whose name I do not remember, but her name is Jeanette Goldstein.
That's nice and Jewish.
That's a nice Jewish name. But I want to show y'all something.
Whoa, wait a minute.
What?
Whoa.
Wait,
so I'm gonna read them other super chats, but we just got $99 super chat.
Holy shit! I just now saw
Jonathan Moda.
God damn! I got wait, whoa! Hold the phone.
You gotta count that money down. Hold up.
Hold the phone.
Johnny Big Bank. Okay, Johnny Big Bank.
I was gonna say, look, wait. Are you with the HFOs? You with the Hardy family? The Hardy family?
You gotta count, dog.
They get those motherfucking likes up. Can't say gotta go adult today, but want to stop by and show support to the dynamic duo. Thank you. Hey, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Always out here.
Money being made around here. Bang.
Money being
made around here. Bang.
Do we need to play the Shane McMahon music?
Oh no.
Like, here comes the money.
Oh God. Money being made around here. Bang. Range Rover, big old house, diamond rings. If you like the kind of thing, money being made around here.
You know the fucked up part is now, just right now, with just that one super chat, we have more money than R. Kelly.
I didn't know where he was going with that.
Hey, look, look. I apologize.
Fight my life. Y'all killing me with this.
Look, he fight for his life. He fight for his booty right now.
Oh man. Ooh, don't let the word Buddhas get him, dog.
Look, they're gonna be doing him like Cliff did that.
Ooh.
Wait, what was that? I kept seeing all the memes, motherfuckers like feeling on your booty. So I'm trying to make the remix to Ignition.
Oh God.
Man, thank you, Jonathan. Super chat. But no, what was I gonna say? Oh my God. Yeah, here we go. I want to show y'all something real quick just because I want y'all's childhoods to be ruined same way mine was. I'm not trying to be rude. You ain't shit, motherfucker. But yeah, right here. Same woman.
Wow.
Same woman.
Bruh.
She in brown face. Right now. Did I tell you every time I see this movie now, I get mad when I see Vasquez. I get mad. Like,
that is wild.
It's the same woman. Jeanette Goldstein, y'all.
You want to just say it was a tan?
Sure.
Nah, we can't even say that either. I'm sorry.
Because here's the thing, she kind of slick a ginger.
She got that good lago. Leave her alone. Got the good lago. Leave her alone, Doc.
Oh goddamn!
If we couldn't give Robert Downey Jr. flack, we can't give Vasquez flack.
Oh, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Let's see here. We got
the politest nigga if you don't get your head back.
Oh my God. Now we got another one here from Leather Jacket Andy here with the $4.99. Says minutia. If Ernie was my English teacher, I'd be a lot further in life. See, no, because you know what happened is I'd be teaching you new words and shit, but like I'd also still be talking like this, which is it is what it is. I appreciate it though. But I do throw like what was it? There was a word that I actually threw in I think into a video the other day, and it was a word I actually legitimately rarely if ever get to actually say in a sentence, and that's apoplectic. That is to have a full-on fucking conniption fit tantrum. Like when you see motherfuckers just like when you be in a grocery store, you see them kids just throw themselves on the ground and they just like just be shaking and shit, kicking and swinging and flinging and shit. That's what apoplectic is. So there you go. You now have a new one. We also got we were literally just talking about the T-1000. We got the T-1000 in here with the 1999 super chat. Says any plans to check out CGI He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? Kevin Smith's animated series had a lot of chatter, but it's been crickets on this other series. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. It's not for adults.
Okay, this is the one I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, it is strictly for children. It is meant for children. It is meant for children, and it does do some wild shit from what I heard. I haven't watched it personally, but just everything I've heard about it, it's geared at kids. It's not geared at anyone that is over the age of like 10, I wouldn't imagine. which I always tell people like, that's what I'm always scared to watch shit. We also got another one for the homie L.J. Brown with the 8.99 pounds. I always love how that always ends up rhyming. Says, hey Ernie, while we talk a lot about X-Men, Charles's scream, I think people have forgotten about Kingpin's dad voice change to normal white dude to Black 20's Bell. Wait a minute. I know. Okay. So what they're talking about here is here, let me see if I can.
I'm trying to copy it myself.
Yeah, this is a super chat. I can't.
You can't highlight it?
You know what? Here. Yo.
What the
Big
hell?
brain. Watch this. Your boy is
cocksucker.
Your boy's about to big brain it. Watch this shit.
There it is. Let me see this.
Oh man, weak sauce is not letting me go back any further than that. Bullshit. Talking about bullshit. Here, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it this way. I'll do things the hard way. I don't care. Here, let's go back this way. Cause I love how YouTube has the weirdest fucking like short, like little short versions of their. Here you go. Found it. Oh, wait, here.
What the hell was that?
Oh, wow. Wow. Dude, wait, I'm trying to remember who the fuck did this motherfucker's voice. Okay, so basically, to give you an idea, I'm not gonna play it on stream because I already know it's gonna be some shit I'll have to cut later.
Can you go to? Well, let me make sure there's no music. Well, of course, there's gonna be music.
Well, yeah.
I'm not even laughing at the dad's voice. Cut to 50s. Cut to like 52 seconds.
52? Okay, here I got it.
Cut to 52 seconds and listen to the Kingpin grunt trying to climb the ladder.
Oh, okay. Nah, here. I gotta. Yeah, I ain't never go see the Kingpin the same way ever again, man. Hold up. Here, I want to fuck it. Y'all got to see this shit because if I had to see it, y'all got to see it.
That didn't bust something.
Watch this shit, y'all. Watch this shit.
Just listen.
Oh wait, here. Let me do something here. I need to.
Oh my goodness, why they do him like that?
Hold up. I don't know if it's actually. Wait. Let me re-add it in. There it is. Okay. There it is. Okay. Y'all should be able to hear it now, hopefully.
Listen to Vincent D'Onofrio, y'all.
I feel.
Oh my god.
Why they do him like
Oh my god. That shit right there. Oh my god. Somebody they ass whoop for that. Somebody they whole ass whoop for that shit right there. Let me go ahead and just tell y'all right now. Somebody need they ass beat. Somebody need they whole. Yeah, that was Roscoe Lee Brown. Dude, can you imagine Roscoe Lee Brown sitting in the voice acting booth going, Do y'all know who Roscoe Lee Brown is? Do y'all know who Roscoe? Oh, Roscoe Lee Brown. Yeah, look. I just want to point out something. Could you imagine? Oh, I'm pulling up a picture of this motherfucker right now because I want y'all to see this shit.
The man Moses said Kingpin got moist.
Goddamn. Y'all ain't shit. I want to share with y'all something. Could y'all imagine I want y'all to imagine some shit. Imagine this motherfucker saying that shit. In the blue. In the blue. How we can... I don't even know why we even... What the fuck?
Oh, man.
Oh, goddamn. I'm so sorry, y'all. I apologize.
Okay. I know what I got to do now.
What's that?
Now I got to smash a girl and purposely make that sound.
Look,
just to see her reaction.
Look, dude, what you gotta do? Get in her ear when you do it too.
Oh
like get real close and be like, I don't know what the fuck is this. Oh my god! Sorry guys, this is Walter Baptiste with 1999.
Oh shit!
Canadian super chat says, sorry guys, I just showed up. Did I miss any new adventures from Carter's dad?
Fuck
also,
you.
I like that Ernie's new videos highlight the stream on Saturdays. Thank you. I you know what? I thought about it for the longest time and I realized a lot of people don't know we do the Blerd cave on Saturdays, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, we got to do that.
That's what you can do. You can kiss him. Walter Baptiste can kiss my ass is what he can do.
What did he do?
Just like the ninth motherfucker this week doesn't ask me how my pappy's doing.
Pappy clappy.
Fuck you.
We also got one from Eric Morgan with a $10 super chat. Says, good morning. Just pay my weekly tithes and offerings. Did we touch on Inferno #1 yet? Because Destiny's back and I need tonight's lotto numbers. Y'all have a safe and productive weekend. Dude, can you imagine that? That's what I would do. You couldn't give me some like fucking superpowers because I would use that shit for personal gain all the time. 24/7.
What if that's how Destiny sounded like the first night back from being cloned when she was in Mystique bed?
Well, Mystique had her go,
But Mystique didn't even do nothing to her. She just took the mask off, but that was enough.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Look, you know Mystique blowing that back out. Got that girl in the what was that move? The Shayna Baszler video got her in the Kier Feud of clutch.
I don't want to picture Mystique blowing somebody back out. You gonna ruin a lot of dreams of mine. I don't want to imagine Mystique doing that. No. Because when I think Mystique, I'm thinking Rebecca Romaine. I don't want to think Rebecca Romaine giving somebody back shots. What is wrong with you, Ernie?
I'm just saying.
It's too fucking early in the morning. It's 10:38 Cali time. It's too early for this.
One thing I will say real quick is and this is in regards to Inferno. If you guys missed it, Wednesday, myself and Verno from the Cerebros podcast and YouTube channel, we were on the Comic Book Herald's YouTube channel. Y'all know I know a lot of y'all are familiar with Dave already, but we did a full fucking breakdown, discussion, talk, and it was insane because like shit was coming up that I had not even thought about because we were just like spitballing shit back and forth of each other. So I do highly recommend if you get a chance, go check that out. Dave is awesome. He knows a lot of stuff and he does a ton of research. He does, like, if there was anyone who does, and I know I shouldn't, because I'm putting myself down when I say this, if there was anyone who does more research on comics than me, like if I had to pick someone, I would probably pick Dave because, well, for one, Dave runs a website where this is literally his fucking job. But I've often big upped Comic Book Herald because and not just the YouTube channel, but the website as well, because he has all kinds of like reading orders and lists and shit like that to kind of help you get, like, you want to know where to start on something. He is really good about that. But yeah, if you get a chance, go check that out. Inferno, gotta admit, I don't know where this motherfucker's going. But I like the direction it's taking. There's a lot of stuff, like when I was making my video for it, I was finding all kinds of shit in that comic, stuff that I didn't catch, things I didn't notice before. That is why that video is as long. I think that video is almost 30 minutes long. That's why, because there's a lot of shit happening in that one fucking comic.
I don't honestly something's up with more. I don't think this is Destiny. I think Destiny knows something she ain't got no business knowing. And I think Moira is up to something she did not let Charles and Magnus in on.
I definitely think that is good. Well, there's a lot of moving parts going on because we got to remember the 5, or at the very least, Hope is acting a whole monkey right now. And I actually do remember seeing this somewhere. Let me see if I can actually find it. There's an article running around.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find this. It was an explainer because Marvel had to release a statement on this. It was a statement they had to release about where Trial of Magneto and Inferno take place. Like with it, because basically the reason why it was brought up is because people were confused because there's shit that's happening in one and shit that's happening in another, and the shit don't seem to line up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can find it. I had the article, but I didn't fucking save it. It's probably like one step back.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't want to hold y'all up just trying to find it. If I find it, we'll come back and address it later.
Yeah.
But just know that if you had any confusion about exactly when Inferno and Trial of Magneto take place around one another, you're not the only one. Marvel did have to put a statement out about it.
I'm hoping they talk to each other more than DC does. That fucking conversation we were having before the cave started.
Yeah, no, it's don't get me started on that shit. Because I'm sorry, they just don't. People don't talk to each other, and I think it's really weird. You have I get it's not like the way it used to be back in the day, where like there's this huge ass fucking office, everybody is always in that motherfucker. Sometimes motherfuckers are writing elsewhere, but the thing is, you got fucking Zoom, you got fucking cell phones, you got Discord, you got motherfucking was it Microsoft Teams? God help you if you use that. You got Google Hangouts or Google Meets, whatever the fuck. You can talk to a motherfucker and be like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing and so and so, just in case you got something. Kind of like what we were we were like, remember yesterday we were talking about with Mephisto, how like it depended on what book you reading. Mephisto doing some shit over here, Mephisto doing some shit over there, and the two don't mix. They don't match. They definitely mismatched. But yeah, that's either here or there. We are about to get into Venom, so this is an actually very apropos super chat here with Legion X420 with the $4.99 super chat. Says loved Venom 2, just wish it was rated R. Which I will. There is something I had to say about that. I'll get into it here in just a sec. We also got another one here where it says following up. Also, Legion X420 with the $4.99 super chat says, would have been cool if they shapeshifted and used wings in the movie like in the comics. That is another thing altogether. I don't think that's something that we have to worry about not seeing in future stuff. I think I'll save that part for spoilers. But we are about to get we are going to get into some Venom talk. Here in a sec. I do want to answer these last two super chats we got right here before we get too way off in the fucking weeds on some shit, because there's stuff to talk about. Anyway, Born Star with the $5 super chat says, hey Blerd, speaking of Doom Patrol, did you hear about the Dead Boy Detective Agency spinoff show in the works now? I did not, but now I'm interested.
I don't know if it was that tight for them to get a spinoff show. I wasn't that interested.
I can see
not interested. I wasn't that involved. It was a good episode, but I don't know if I was that involved for them to want to see more shit from them.
I mean, it's not something I would expect or would have expected, but if they make it, I would be curious enough to see, because I did think that they had an interesting dynamic. I thought they were kind of funny. And this is coming from a guy who's never given two shits about the Dead Boy Detective Agency, like ever in life.
I'm already gonna correct myself when I say this, but I mean, I didn't really know a whole lot about Doom Patrol like that. And
well, no,
So let me shut the fuck up and say, let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, and I will also say the same thing. I was like, okay, I knew a little bit about the Doom Patrol, but my knowledge of Doom Patrol mostly came from the fact that I always knew about them because they were the other X-Men, like, because it was that whole thing where X-Men and Doom Patrol debuted within like I think a month of each other, in publication. So it was always that which one came first, the chicken or the egg, who came up with what first, who really copied who. Did Marvel did they take a peek at DC's homework and then ran home real quick and then threw some shit together real fast? Because it's the same layout, it's the same team dynamic. You got a guy in a wheelchair, who kind of problematic, basically hovering over a bunch of weird motherfuckers. But that was the extent of my knowledge of Doom Patrol. I never really was the biggest fan of the comics, even though I do like some of them now. Some of the Grant Morrison shit, probably my least favorite parts of Doom Patrol, which is funny because the show is mostly Grant Morrison shit. That's the fucked up part. So that it just goes to show sometimes shit translates better in one place versus another. If it's good, I mean, I'll give it a chance, because I have a feeling that a show like that would lean more into some of the elements that we saw in that episode, more of the horror elements, and that's shit that I like. So yeah, I'd be down. Also, more potential to cross over other shows.
Yep.
Scott Yar, the homie with the $5 super chat, says Inferno, Darkhold, Trial of Magneto, even Onslaught Revelation, New Mutants, fill in flex time. I can't tell which came first in what order overlap. Yeah. Okay. So what they're talking about here is Darkhold, I know takes place before. Darkhold takes place because Marvel put a statement out like a few months ago when Darkhold was announced because of the whole death of Wanda Maximoff. They said that takes place before the Trial of Magneto. So we know that. Okay. Trial of Magneto and Inferno are in a weird thing. I don't like I said, I'm still trying to find that fucking article that I saw, and it's kind of pissing me off that I can't find it.
Onslaught Revelation fuck around and look like it all happened in the span of one day. Nightcrawler whooped Onslaught in one day.
That's kind of what it looks like. Okay, here it is. I actually
$6 in quarters to whoop that nigga. It took Nightcrawler a day.
Yeah. How many issues did it take the X-Men? How many issues? How long? I'm trying to remember exactly how long the Onslaught saga was, because I feel like that motherfucker took up 3 compendiums. That shit took forever. But here it is. I actually found the article. Inferno, this is actually from a Marvel spokesperson. They confirm that Inferno largely takes place after the events of Trial of Magneto. So if you are trying to figure out where all this shit fills in, all of it's after. Most of it's after. There's probably some parts where they're going to dip backward, but for the most part, Inferno takes place after Trial of Magneto. So there you go. We got an answer. The Legion of X420 with the $4.99 super chat says Carter looking like he from MIB with them glasses on. Dude, y'all better watch out. He gonna hit you with the guy. He gonna pull that little pin out.
43 issues.
43 issues? That's too. You know what? Now that you say that, I just thought about it. I remembered how long Blackest Night was, and I'm like, it's actually only half as long as Blackest Night.
Boy, those were some thick ass books I used to see in the bookstore, Blackest Night, and then them fucking tie-ins too. Good God.
I think Blackest Night is over 80-something issues of comics. I think. I want to say I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. How long is Blackest Night? Let's see here. Well, okay. The hardcover is 576 pages. Now that I've said there's over 576 pages, if you break that down, like the average comic is like, well, no, I feel like that's leaving out some of the tie-in shit. Now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, I remember there being like a ton of issues in Blackest Night, but neither here nor why are we talking about Blackest Night? Anyway, point of the matter is, let's get into some Venom. Let There Be Carnage discussion. I saw the movie Carter. You saw pieces of it.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say right now, this is the no spoiler part of it. So if you care about spoilers, then you don't have to worry. We'll talk about spoilers, and I'll let you guys know when we're about to talk spoilers. Let there be carnage. Okay, let me get into it. This movie is, for the most part, it takes place. I can't remember exactly what the exact. They say at some point in the movie what it is, but I don't remember. But it takes place not exactly directly after the first movie, but the events of the first movie are still being addressed. So the whole idea of people thinking that Venom is dead and thinks Venom is dead because Eddie kind of let her believe that he's still running around as Venom. They've kind of worked it out to some degree where like they kind of have some kind of a working living arrangement. They're basically like roommates who are maybe just a touch too close. And really, okay, so this movie does what a lot of second superhero movies do, but something I've seen that's become kind of popular for certain studios to do with superhero movies when you hit that second iteration. This is because you saw it with Spider-Man. You saw it with Spider-Man. You saw it with The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
It's that whole trope where the hero doesn't want to be the hero anymore, either because they realize that being the hero is causing them to miss out on something, or they feel like being the hero is ruining their life, or they just see an easy out where they could just be like, well, I guess I don't have to do this anymore because I don't have any powers. I don't have the thing that makes me what I am. Okay, cool. All right, I'm out. Bye. Deuces. That's basically what happens. A lot of the stuff that you see, like, case in point, when you see Venom at the there's in the commercials and teasers, you see Venom at the rave. That's not Eddie in the costume. It's literally just somebody. It's literally just Venom just running around. But the movie, the whole premise of it is the fact that we know that Cletus Cassidy, Woody Harrelson, he is for the most part he's coming back as Cletus from the first movie, from the little teaser we got at the end of that. And whatever interview that Eddie had with Cletus, apparently it got Eddie like back into the somewhat limelight of being a reporter or journalist like what he was in the beginning of the first movie, but it's not 100%. Like his comeback isn't 100% set. Like, it didn't have the desired effect that Eddie had hoped that it would have. Like, he doesn't have Anne back. Anne is moved on. She's still around, but she has moved on. His career isn't quite back where he wants to be, and his living situation is still pretty piss poor. And then, of course, as you see in the teasers, because they basically just tell you how the shit fucking happens.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie, of course, gets bitten by Cletus, and that is how Cletus realizes that something ain't right about Eddie. And he becomes curious about him and fascinated with him. Now, you're probably sitting here wondering, well, why, if he's fascinated with him, then why the fuck are they fighting each other in the movie? That's a whole other story. But honestly, this part, not really much of a spoiler. Basically, while Eddie is, I guess, investigating Cletus, like, or you're supposedly trying to get that scoop, Venom picks up on something. Not Eddie. Venom picks up on something that helps Eddie with some information that, for in all intents and purposes, takes Cletus from being this guy who no one can find the bodies, no one can actually find the evidence of what it is he actually did that could actually get this man put on death row to get him executed. Well, that turns around. And that's why Cletus is trying to get after Eddie. That's really, none of that is really spoiler material. The movie itself overall, like the whole premise of it, the vibe of it, the tone of it, it's not that different from the first movie. It leans into comedy. It's basically like they set up little things that get said, little throwaway gags, or they seem like throwaway gags that get thrown out, and then later on they'll come back and they'll probably address that gag at a later point in the film.
So let me ask you this real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, the one thing that Andy Serkis said, which disgusted me when I heard it, was that this movie was basically going to be a love story between Venom and Eddie. Is that the case? Because from the scenes I saw, Venom sounded like an angry girlfriend who wanted her man's attention.
That's not exactly what it is. Is it a love story? I mean, in the loosest sense of the word, probably. I mean, because, okay, here's the thing. The concept of Eddie and Venom's relationship is not an unexplored thing. We saw this in Donny Cates' run. It just was a little more muted. Yeah, I remember the Donny Cates' run. You even see a point where the symbiote says, "I love you, Eddie." So I mean, that's not uncharted territory. The problem with their relationship is that they want different things. So in the sense of like being a love story, it's one of those situations where you got the one person who wants their relationship to go in one direction. The other person wants that motherfucker to go the other direction. And it's not that they don't want to be together, but they just want different shit. And ultimately, what it is that Venom wants to be a hero. Like, Venom wants to, like, literally, his part of Trey was like, we should be out there snacking on bad guys. It's not because it is also because he's hungry and he does need to eat, but it's because he does want to be a hero. He keeps constantly talking about wanting to be the lethal protector. He's like, I want to be out there, saving the day and doing this and, like, stuff like that. When they're at the prison, he's talking about how, like, man, we could literally just run roughshod in here and take out so many bad guys at once. And Eddie's like, well, it's not really how it works. Just because you're in jail doesn't necessarily mean that you're guilty. Sometimes people are innocent and wind up in jail because mitigating circumstances, shit like that. And Eddie is what he's trying to do is he's actually trying to get his life back. He's trying to get his career back. He's trying to get Anne back. Those are his priorities. He's only really doing the hero thing to help Venom out with his eating thing. That's the only reason, really, as far as the movie will have you believe. But yeah, that's basically what that is. The movie, even that one thing I will say too, yes, it also is a love story in the sense, and this is, I think, probably more. I mean, yeah, he was probably talking about Venom and Eddie as well, but he was also talking about Carnage and Shriek, because of the nature of their relationship. Actually, when you start the movie off, you don't start with Eddie and Venom. You start with Cletus and Shriek. The movie opens with them, and kind of explaining why they already because that there's a lot of departure from the comics in this movie. Some of it for better, some of it for worse. But I'll get to that in spoilers. But yeah, the main thing, as far as everybody in it, Tom Hardy, great as Eddie. I think he does a good job as Venom. I mean, yeah, is he the grim, dark, super serious Venom that some people want him to be? No, he's not. He's the goober villain. He's the goober Venom from like Lethal Protector and like even Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. He was kind of goofy. He was sinister, but he said a lot. He always was throwing around one-liners and goofy shit. I even made a TikTok about it, where I was talking about how like the dumb shit that Venom has said that like was for a joke. There's a lot of that. I'm admittedly not the hugest fan of the character Carnage in the comics. I think he's an interesting character when he's doing stuff, when he's doing his thing, but I don't think that he has much depth. Like, he's not like a nuanced character. He's basically a wannabe Joker is what he is, and he's a wannabe Joker who doesn't really have a point. It's like, even though I know The Dark Knight came out well after Carnage was ever created, he reminds me of the times where you could tell Hollywood saw The Dark Knight and said, man, we gonna make that Joker villain. We want to make something just like the Joker. We want to make a villain who just makes shit happen just because. He ain't got no plan. He just doing shit. That's what Carnage reminds me of in the comics. And they do give him more gravitas in this movie, but it's not going to be the way people, I think, were expecting or maybe even want. I don't know. But I mean, in the comics, he is not only a villain, but he is a piece of shit. And I mean, he's supposed to be, but I think sometimes they went well and out of their way in the comics to make him disliked, to make him unlikable. Like me and you, Carter, were talking about this earlier, like in Maximum Carnage. Not only is he the titular bad guy, but he's always beating Shriek's ass anytime Shriek says anything halfway out of line, bop, she catching the hand, she catching the backhand, baby powder and everything. They do a lot to change that dynamic. And then of course, just when you get towards the end, I know one of the biggest complaints people had about Venom, the first movie, is the CGI fight scene at the end between Venom and Riot. And a lot of people hate it because it looked like a big CGI mess because you had one black glob fighting a gray glob. What's up?
I never heard that complaint. The one complaint I always heard was it should have. Well, it was the one that you and I have heard some fucking times. It should have been rated R just because of certain scenes that were happening in that first movie. One scene was toward the end with Riot when he just wipes out everybody at the space station. He makes his hand blades.
Right, he makes the blade hands like Carnage.
And it just knocks motherfuckers over. You don't see not a hint of blood nowhere. This isn't a spoiler, but from the little bit from the stuff I did see of this film, Carnage goes to eat someone's head, and it quick cuts to somebody's reaction.
Yeah,
right
they do the Tarantino. Yeah, they do. Well, I will say this: you do get that scene. If you want that scene does happen. It ain't gonna be probably the way you want it to happen. But no, that is something I actually came prepared to talk about too, because that is also a complaint I think people have. But here's the thing though, and this is what I always tell people: I don't think making a movie rated R actually enhances your story in the way a lot of people think it's going to. Would either of these movies have benefited from being rated R? Probably. But the thing is, the story wouldn't have changed. It'd have been the same thing. You just would have gotten some blood to go with it. And yeah, they do the Tarantino method. And if you don't know what the Tarantino method is, I always tell people, go back and look at Reservoir Dogs. The part where Mr. Blonde is about to cut off the police officer's ear. They do that with this movie. They also did with the first one as well. Anytime something bad happens, they kind of like cut away. That's why I call it the Tarantino method. The thing happens, you just don't see it.
Okay, but when Tarantino did it, at least Tarantino did it in a nicer way than just a quick cut. It was very cinematic the way he did it, and even when he did it, you still had blood and stuff like that. And I think the main thing is just that people. You're right. The story is going to be the same, but people still want that. This is going to sound fucking stupid when I say it, but people still want that realism. If that makes sense.
No, I get that. I totally get you.
Yeah, like if you make your hand blades and you swing across a crowd of people, and the only thing you see is somebody get knocked over, that's going to take some people out of it.
Well, here's what I will say about that, though.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the version of Reservoir Dogs where they actually show you the ear getting cut off?
No.
It looks stupid. That's why they cut away. It looks dumb. But no, that's neither here nor there. But the point I'm trying to make is that in the case of Venom Let There Be Carnage, like there's the prison scene, which they it's online. You can see it as part of the trailer.
Yeah. In
the prison scene, there are parts where Carnage is murking prison guards. Now, is he like impaling them, cutting their heads off, ripping them in half? No. But the things he's doing to them, every time he like for instance, there's one where like he grabs a guard with one of his like tendrils and he swings that, like he literally like what Hulk did to Loki in Avengers. Yeah. He did that to a regular person. But like or like another guy, he knocked one dude and the guy like literally went like he went like what was like we were watching Shang-Chi, the dude got knocked in there by a big ass dog. Yeah. That happens to dude, and he ends up smacking his head on one of the guardrails on the upper level of prison. It's one of them situations where I'm like, to me, I look at that and go, okay, this is a way for you to be violent without being violent. It's bloodless, but in the back of my head, I'm going, that dude's dead.
Yeah, it's like it's like with my buddy when I was telling you when you and I were talking about the Sony stuff, and I told you I knew the guy that was working on God of War, and he said that if you pay attention to the God of War that came back a few years ago, all the more graphic stuff that happened in that game happened more so toward the monsters, because you can't really have a lot of graphic shit happen in that game because there were kids in it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Same thing with this film. From the fight scenes I saw, the more fucked up shit happened between Venom and Carnage.
Right. Yeah, it's not happening between okay, the scene where Carnage is holding the guard up and he sticks his tongue all the way down the guard's throat. That part you do see, but thing is, there's no blood in it because you can't see what's actually happening on the inside.
Yeah, that's just gross.
Yeah, it just is gross, and you see it because the dudes are like, "I have a family," and he's like, there you go, he's dead. And then like when he's throwing cars at the helicopters and throwing cars into other cars, it's like all the cars explode. You know, everybody in that car is fucking dead. Everybody in the helicopter's fucking dead, but you don't see the shit because it's not. But when Venom and Carnage are fighting each other, it's a knockdown, drag out there, fucking killing each other. And I will say, for me, I guess I'm not as bloodthirsty of a person. Like, if there is blood, I'm cool. If I don't see it, I'm at this point in my life where I'm just like, it's whatever. But I will say this. I know why. There's a reason why studios make these choices. The reason why Venom, the first movie, and this one for that matter, PG-13, and I think I don't think we talked about this. I think I actually talked about this on Nerdette's Newsstand. This movie isn't for... It is and it is not for comic book fans. And what I mean by this is, and I know some people are like, well, what do you mean? This is a fucking comic book movie. Here's the thing. When a studio makes a comic book movie, or they adapt any property, you know what they're trying to get you to do? They are trying to attract new audiences. They know we know the story. They're trying to get these motherfuckers that don't know the story.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how we talk about reboots of cartoons. Like, okay, that He-Man cartoon that got brought up earlier. That cartoon ain't for me and Carter. It's not for our age demographic. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to get a younger audience to fuck with He-Man. Like
that Sonic movie was. That Sonic movie wasn't for us.
No. So you know what people were complaining about? Oh, Sonic doesn't look right. All the OG fans like, oh, the Sonic doesn't look right. Here's the thing. Do you know what they changed about that movie other than how Sonic looks? Nothing. That movie would have been the same regardless. And the thing is, movie, it was actually legitimately good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. But the thing is, that movie wasn't for me. You know what that movie was for? For my kid. My kid loves Sonic now. Like, you hear that motherfucker, she is running around the house. Gotta go fast. She says that shit now. Also, I'm going to point out something. I know this may not be a selling point for a lot of people, but my daughter, my 6-year-old, fucking loves Venom.
Yeah.
She be walking through the house sometimes, she'll start doing this shit.
Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that toward me again. Don't do that when we're looking at each other. Don't ever do that.
Look, and she'll be like, who am I, Daddy? And I'll be like, that's Venom, baby. Good Venom, baby. You did a good job. Like, matter of fact, she was heartbroken when I went to go see the movie the other night. I told her I was going to the movies. She's like, what you going to go see, Daddy? And I was like, I'm going to go see the new Venom movie. And she was like, I want to go. And I was like, baby, I don't know. I said, I know the movie's PG-13, but I was like, it's got Carnage in it, so I don't know how violent it's going to be, or like, if there's anything in it that, like, I don't really want her to see.
I want you to see, yeah.
And I was like, let Daddy go see it first. And then I said, depending on what I see, I was like, I'll take you to go see it. Cause like, she loves it. She like that, like 2 of her favorite things of this earth, Spider-Man, Venom.
Yeah.
Period. That's who that's for. I'm not saying it's for kids, but I'm just saying, like, whenever someone adapts these properties, like, remember, what was it? Rise of the Ninja Turtles? The recent one that just got canceled not that long ago.
Yeah.
Remember how people were talking cash money shit about that show?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, this is stupid. Man, this isn't my Ninja Turtles. Goddamn right it ain't your Ninja Turtles. Because it ain't for you. You 35 years old. They don't make none for you no more. Shit. They don't make nothing for any... Dude, they're trying to get a newer audience to come and see this. They're trying to get general audiences to come and see this. Like, when people make fun of the MCU and say, oh, the MCU is so dumbed down, it's just corny and cheesy, they tell jokes all the time. You know why? Because motherfuckers that don't read comics, guess what they don't want to sit through?
Yeah.
Some bullshit.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers pontificating and trying to make you think that this comic book is real. They look. Open that movie with a stand back, true believers.
Okay.
do that shit. See how long the MCU lasts. You start a movie with that shit.
And with that ugly ass Stan Lee accent, he just tried. Let's get these super chats out of the way before they just disappeared. We got a $20 super chat from Debo the Black Panther. My grandmama gave me that vibranium. Wanted to throw this at you and Carter. Apocalypse was in Moira's lifespan number 8, I believe, as her lover. Gross. And I can't help but remember the words spoken to Apocalypse as he lay dying. Could Apocalypse be behind the 5 behavior change?
I don't think that's the case. But what I will say is I can tell you what might be, and it's here's what's happening. A lot of people are not happy on Krakoa right now. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people aren't catching, because like depends on what books you're reading. If you go back and like, especially if you read New Mutants has been very vocal about this, is that Krakoa isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shit that happens on Krakoa that's not okay. The whole thing about Karma having to try and figure out whether or not it's actually worth it to her to have her brother for her to die so her brother can be resurrected, because her brother, if I'm not mistaken, because of some weird shenanigans or whatever, and I think he also made or no, he's basically soul bound to her body.
Yeah.
So basically she would have to die so that his soul could be free, so that he could be brought back as a separate person. But the thing is, should he be? Because he's a fucking terrible person. He's gone out of his way to fuck her over and kill people, lots of people, on the regular with little to no motivation whatsoever. Is Krakoa for someone like him? Or more importantly, there are people out there, there's mutants who don't want to live on Krakoa because they're perfectly fine living their life elsewhere. We see that with the fucking Morlocks. The Morlocks don't want to live on Krakoa, largely because the Marauders are the OG original recipe Marauders are there. They don't want to. They like it's too close to home because of the mutant massacre and all other shit.
Yeah. Okay. We got another $4.99 super chat from Carlos Johnson saying, "So many dad jokes and Carnage is not nuanced. It felt like a Leto Joker. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend." I'm gonna try to, Carlos. Thank you.
We're gonna do our best here. I mean, dad jokes. I'm a dad, so it doesn't bother me. When you become a dad, you're immune to dad jokes. You might even find them funny. Carnage not nuanced enough. Honestly, I thought he was more nuanced than the comic book version. I dare someone to try and convince me that Cletus Cassidy has depth in the comics. I will sit down and I'll give you at least an hour to convince me, but I promise you I will walk away with my mind unchanged.
We got a super chat from Absolute Venom for $19.99.
Got to go get him. Oh no! Wait.
Nope.
Is that
the King got it. You fucking bastard.
Super chat.
The King got to talk about this. It was enjoyable. Woody was great, but the rating hindered the Carnage a bit.
Yes.
Fair point. Plus, Shriek was uninteresting and only there to give Cletus a goal. That post-credit scene, though.
I agree. I 100% agree with Venom here. Mm-hmm. That is probably the one that I will say. Having Carnage, you do kind of need to up that rating.
Yep.
You need to let Carnage be Carnage. He wasn't honestly, he could have been any other symbiote. He could have been Lasher. He could have been Agony. He could have been Rays. He could have, other than the fact that some of those characters I just mentioned are female. He could have literally been any generic symbiote and no one would have noticed. They used Carnage for the name recognition more than anything else. I do agree. Shriek, not the most interesting character. I feel like she was undersold.
She was just there to holler.
Yeah, that and what you said earlier, you kept calling her Macy Gray.
No, I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about that ugly ass voice Tom Hardy was using where he sounded like he'd been smoking Newports daily.
Oh, well, there's that. But no, but the way she talks, she actually does kind of do the Macy Gray thing a little bit. But the post credit scene I thought was amazing. I thought the post credit was great, and then there's of course the tease of another character we'll get to here in a second. Yeah, that is that.
All right. We got a $5 super chat from Poetry Media.
Five time.
Just dipping in from an arts market to spread the love. Sold out all of my comics this morning. Inferno, LOL. So you see how you do a whole movie talking like that, Tom Hardy. That's ugly.
He wasn't raspy, I don't think. I mean, he was talking in a very stunted voice. He was
talking like he'd been smoking blacks since birth.
You trying to make it sound like he's Brian Pillman.
Oh God.
But no, he was kind of trying, like he did talk with a little bit of, sometimes he did talk with a whisper, but it was typically in scenes where a whisper was probably more appropriate because he's trying to talk to Venom on the slick, even though he shouldn't have to whisper, but he's trying to whisper so other people don't hear him. That happens in a lot of scenes. There's a lot of scenes where like he's talking to Venom in public, but no one can see Venom because Venom is hiding, and Venom can hear him. No one can hear Venom because Venom's in his head, but he's whispering because he doesn't want other people to think he's crazy, but people still think he's crazy because they're seeing this grown-ass man whispering, talking to himself.
So I'm gonna tell you something real quick, and then we'll go to this next super chat.
Real quick before you say that, I gotta respond. By the way, congratulations, bro. I'm glad you sold everything out, and I'll be hitting you up soon, brother. Get that bread. Yes, go ahead.
All right, real quick. Venom takes place in San Francisco, correct?
Yes.
The people in Cali that I know that have seen both movies, they sounded like us when we complain about hustle and flow. Nobody talks like that here.
Well, no. Here's the thing, because you know what I think is interesting about it is that I don't think he's trying to talk like a San Francisco person. I actually think he's trying to talk like
Macy Gray.
No, I was gonna say I think he's trying to talk like a New Yorker, but he's doing a bad job at that too.
All I know is every time he starts talking, I want to watch A Life of Ginger, because I just start thinking of Macy Gray singing that theme song.
Oh Lord. Anyway, Nick Carr with a $5 super chat says, just saw by to show love on this college football Saturday. # go dogs. Keep up the good work, Blerd and Carter. We appreciate you, brother. And hopefully the dogs are laying the smack down.
This used to be XFL football Saturday.
Used to be once upon a time. What was that dude's name? He Hate Me.
I'm talking about new XFL. You done went back a ways. The Rock that bought that shit and ain't done nothing with it. We got the NFL.
Ain't nobody talking about the XFL. Ain't nobody want the XFL back.
Then what the fuck? The boy spent $15 million on it.
I don't know. Honestly, you know what? Probably just get it away from Vince McMahon as a favor. You know, Vince probably, hey, pal, hey, buddy, hey, pal, can you come take this off my hands? That's probably what he told him. Rock's like, nah, I got some extra money laying around. He asks his accountant, be like, hey, do I still got some money? He's like, yeah, you still got plenty of money. We got Carlos Johnson with the $4.99 super chat. Says, I just wish they spent time making Carnage more psychotic. I understand no grotesque violence, but they could have made him appear more convincing or more conniving / insane. I thought they did a good job making him look crazy. He definitely was crazy. I definitely got the impression that motherfucker was off his rocker. He was off his chops, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the only thing I think a rated R would have done is made Carnage more. It would have made him more believable as a threat when he's up against other people. But against Eddie, it didn't really matter. Though he was quite ready to kill a lot of people.
I did like the line he had where he was telling Eddie, I'm a killer with or without the monster.
Yeah.
That was a dope line. I like that.
I did like that. Let's go ahead and jump into full-on spoilers. Okay, so with spoilers, the thing that was funny to me about this movie is... Okay, let's talk about the first thing. Let's go ahead and get Macy Gray out of the way. Shriek.
I was not talking about Shriek.
But I am.
Okay.
Because that's her voice. She talks like the way that Macy Gray talks. That's actually how Naomi Harris is playing Shriek. She's talking with like the raspy voice that you're using to describe what Tom Hardy's doing. That's exactly how Shriek talks.
Damn.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I will say I like how they made her look different, because when I see
like the look.
Naomi Harris is fine as hell. That is our new money penny. And
yeah. Excuse my
even
language. With the fucked up eye. Even with the fucked up eye, which I will say this, the one thing I thought was kind of stupid is that the character Patrick Mulligan is in this. And the whole premise of the story is that back in the day when Shriek and Carnage are teenagers and they're locked up in the St. Estes I guess boys and girls home, whatever. What winds up happening is they're taking her away. And this is what I thought was interesting, because Carter, you may or may not be aware of this. I don't know. Maybe this might surprise you. I don't know if you know this or not. Shriek is a mutant.
Yes, I did. I did know that. I did know that.
A lot of people don't know this. So there's a point where at the beginning of the movie, she doesn't come out and say she's a mutant, but she says something that lets you know she's a mutant. Yeah. She's talking about, like, she uses the term like her powers are mutating, or like her mutations are progressing, and basically some people are coming to take her somewhere where there's other people just like her. They don't say they're taking her to the Westchester mansion or nothing like that, but you get the impression they are, who knows where they're going to take her. I thought that part was kind of interesting.
I like the picture you have here, because this is right after the backhand.
Yeah. He literally just backhanded the fuck out of her. Well, okay, and that's the other thing too. So we're talking about how uninteresting Shriek is. I feel like Shriek could have been so much more in this movie, because I felt like they actually touched on something that was very interesting about the dynamic between Shriek and Carnage. The fact that Shriek has an ability that hurts Carnage. But if you go back to Maximum Carnage, it's one of those situations where, like, she's directing her power away from Carnage most of the time, so it doesn't affect him. But the thing I thought that was actually really realistic about this is that you can't direct sound like that at that level.
Yeah,
if it's loud, it's loud.
Even in this scene, because I did see this fight scene between Venom and Carnage. This happened. This was basically the end of the movie. Even this scene, when she screamed, she was screaming at Eddie.
Yeah.
It's just Carnage was right next to her and was still affected by it. And
Oh yeah. And, well, even when there's another scene where he goes to rescue her from Ravencroft. And in that scene, when the cops are coming after them,
that was in the trailer. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. She uses her power. That scene where she's using the power in her car, Cletus is right next to her. And he does the same thing again. He bop. and because dude's like, he's like, tell her to keep her mouth shut. That is the thing about this movie. The thing that I guess you're touching on that is kind of what kind of takes us to the thing. I think a lot of people are gonna have a problem with this.
Yeah.
The Carnage symbiote and Cletus are not bonded in this movie. There's no perfect symbiosis. There's not even a hint that Cletus has any actual control over Carnage, because in the comics, it's heavily implied that Carnage was either already a monster when he was born, or that Cletus basically influenced Carnage.
Yeah, the main thing I read was basically that when Venom had Carnage, it was just this thing, and it needed to get on somebody to live. It got on Cletus, and then Cletus Cassidy's warped fucking horrific mind got a hold of it. It was basically a play on Venom. Venom got a hold of Eddie Brock. In this case, Cletus got a hold of Carnage.
Right. It was like, what happens if it goes the other direction?
Yes.
That's basically what it was. And don't get me wrong. Here, let's see if I have where to go. It's probably here. Yeah, there you go. The thing is, in the comics, Carnage is the one that's in full control. In this, Cletus is the one that's in full control. Yeah. In this one, Carnage and Cletus were butting heads about not everything, but at least one thing. Yeah. That like when it came to like killing people, causing destruction, Cletus and Carnage were on the same fucking page. But when it came to Shriek, when it came to her, that's where there was a disconnect. Anytime that Carnage tried to hurt Shriek or did hurt Shriek, Cletus would like cry out or be like, "Hey, leave her alone."
He was even trying to get out of Carnage.
Right? Yeah. At one point, he was literally. Yeah, he was trying to. Yeah, which that's the opposite of Carnage in the both Cletus and Carnage in the comics. In the comics, well, because Cletus is in control of Carnage, and he was backhanding that heifer left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Like if she looked at him wrong, bah!
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. If you go back and read Maximum Carnage, there's several points where he pops the shit out of her.
Okay.
There's several points he pops the fuck out of her, which I was like, ooh, man, in 2021, I don't know if this is gonna play too well. But that said, other than that part of it, I actually did like Woody Harrelson as Cletus because he felt like a threat. And he felt like whenever he did shit, he was just doing it because he wanted to do it. Or that he felt compelled to do something. I even like how they explained his origin, even though they did it in like an animatic. There's a part where they go back, they talk about how he killed his mom, his grandma, and his so on and so forth. And there's a part where they don't show it, but they heavily imply he killed the pet, the family pet.
Yeah.
And they even talk about how the part of his origin where he died at birth and then came back. They bring that part up. All of that is talked about. The thing that actually, but even above and beyond that, the thing that actually bothered me the most about Carnage was they did the thing that other Marvel movies tend to do, the thing that you don't like.
What's that?
They killed that motherfucker.
Well, I knew that shit was coming.
Yeah, that wasn't
what bothered me. What bothered me was the fact, number one, that Cletus and Carnage weren't on the same page.
Right. Yeah.
That was number one. Number two was during the fight with Eddie, he in the process of him like fucking Eddie up at this point, he's basically upset with Eddie because Eddie, in his words, didn't tell the whole story. And that was that he was abused by his family. That's why he's so fucked up. So it was almost like they were trying to make you feel
they were trying to make you feel
Cassidy a little bit. And it's just like,
you ain't supposed to feel for Cletus.
What?
I mean, technically Donny Cates did that, or not so much Donny Cates. Donny Cates oversaw it, but he didn't technically write it. But if you go back, I think it was Carnage Unleashed. It was one of the like tie-ins, like one of the bleed-ins before Absolute Carnage. They kind of tried to give you like a little bit of sympathy for him. But the thing is, he's an unsympathetic character. You really shouldn't care about him. I mean, but I get why they did what they did. They wanted people, because that's what Hollywood does. They want people to care about the bad guys too. But the only reason I didn't like that they killed him, it's because I know they're going to bring, it's because like, why waste that time? You know, you're going to bring the motherfucker back. But like a lot of the shit that Carnage is doing in this movie is shit that he wasn't able to do until Absolute Carnage, which is what I thought was so weird. So it made me think, oh, are they trying to build towards like Null or some shit?
See, I didn't think that. I think this was just more so you got Carnage, so you know he's going to have to do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And since all we've seen Venom really do is his little shop of horror shit in the kitchen, you know, he doesn't really train or anything like that. Nah. So, and his mind isn't going to think to do the things that Cletus is doing. So that part I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, like you have all that shit coming out of Carnage. Venom is still gonna think like Eddie thinks. So that's why, like, there was when he grabs the fucking pipe to stab Carnage. You know, all the while Carnage is just using pieces of himself and shanking the fuck out of Eddie.
Oh yeah, because he's doing the barb thing. Well, yeah, because like even in this shot right here, he's literally getting ready to throw the little barbs that you see him do in the comics.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say though, even though I did just say that I didn't like that they killed him, I didn't like that they killed him just because I know they're going to bring him back. It just seems kind of silly to kill him and bring him back because it's too cliche. But the thing. I think they are. I actually think they are. But here's the thing that the reason why I actually am kind of okay with it though at the same time is because this is this is technically what Venom would do. Because if you go back to Maximum Carnage, Venom was all day trying to kill Carnage.
Yeah.
Like the only reason he didn't kill Venom or why Venom didn't kill Carnage is because of Spider-Man. Is literally the only reason why Carnage didn't get killed in that. And in this, there's no Spider-Man to keep him from doing shit. So he just does it.
Why they kill Shriek like that, bro? Because I was laughing my ass off watching.
Oh,
that.
Yeah. Oh, that, yeah. I was about to say, yeah. You know what? I'm glad you said that. Dude, they kill Shriek so ugly. Boy, they killed, dude. She actually caught it worse than Carnage.
I felt bad for her at first because it's like, damn, you can't catch a break. You getting backhanded from all the symbiotes because Venom slapped shit out of her.
Mm-hmm. Because he slapped the shit out of her to get her off. To get her to do the thing so that it would fuck up. It was a smooth plan, but I ain't gonna lie, there was just a little bit too much backhanding of women in this movie.
Yeah,
for my blood, I'm like, y'all sending a bad message. Look, both Venom and Carnage from the Slapaho tribe.
Yeah, no, you know what? I did like the fight when the bell rang.
That was actually
cool. And what ends up happening, if you all haven't seen, is basically it's Carnage versus Venom, but they were in a church, I believe it was.
Yeah,
because it was right after Cletus had gotten married to Shriek, and somebody had let the bell loose or let the bell off. So every couple seconds mid fight, the bell would ring. So they go from symbiote to normal. Scrapping, and then once the bell was stopped, we go back to the symbiotes going in.
It was cool.
That was cool.
But I'm gonna tell you why that worked. It's because of Andy Serkis.
Yeah,
and Andy Serkis is the mocap guy, and I guarantee you, he not saying he choreographed it 100% himself, but I'm saying the vision he had for that to be a thing, I thought was really awesome. Yeah. The other thing that happens in this movie. I mentioned Patrick Mulligan, and if you saw the video earlier this morning, you know I talk about it in that video. But Patrick Mulligan is the character who later becomes Toxin. Mm-hmm. He's not even really Toxin for that long. I mean, he is, but he isn't.
He's Toxin for a while before the Remender stuff.
Well, yeah, he is. It feels like, you know what it is? He doesn't show up in a lot of shit.
I was gonna say it's just he wasn't really. They didn't write his ass no more.
No, because after Venom versus Carnage, he showed up. I think after Venom versus Carnage, he got a 6-issue miniseries, and then after that, crickets.
Yeah,
crickets.
That's what it was.
And here's the other thing. Tell me when he died. Tell me when Patrick Mulligan died. I dare you.
So, I don't know when, but I do own the Remender Agent Venom shit. Right. Collection, and I know that Jack-O-Lantern and the Crime Master were saying that I think it was implied that they killed him.
That motherfucker died off panel.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, because there's a part where Blackheart is like, yeah, we really banked in on taking him out. So they didn't even get Patrick Mulligan the DC to kill that motherfucker on the panel. He died off panel. That's why I don't care who plays Patrick Mulligan. But I like the guy. I know you say you don't like the actor that plays him
because I still see.
You see
Snatch.
Tommy. You see Tommy from Snatch.
Yeah, that's what I see. That little fool.
I like dogs.
That little tiny fool.
I like caravans more.
And you brought up Boardwalk Empire, the little tiny ass Al Capone that was running the show. That was like,
I liked him as Al Capone.
Yeah, he was about as tall as a goddamn PS4. He just little knee high to yay high.
This motherfucker ain't shit. I want y'all to know. But no. But here's the thing. So in the movie, there's a part where Carnage is about to kill Patrick Mulligan. And it's actually a shot straight out of Venom versus Carnage.
Okay.
It's straight out of Venom versus Carnage. But what happens is he ends up not dying. But in the middle of all the aftermath of the fight, you notice he starts kind of convulsion a little bit. I didn't get to hear exactly everything he said because the audience started freaking the fuck out. Most of them didn't even know who the fuck the motherfucker was. But they were freaking out because his eyes started glowing black and blue. But basically it was letting you know he was becoming Toxin. So at some point in that instance, the Carnage had let loose a symbiote, just like what Eddie did early, or just like how in the comics, Carnage, he birthed Toxin into existence.
And I was thinking maybe it was because of Shriek, since Shriek had just fucking poked his goddamn eye out.
Probably.
Maybe one of them backhands, some of that symbiote got on her.
Look, and then just said, oh, they said, nah, this bitch about to die. She get hit too much. And then jumped on him.
I was really upset when you told me, like, and just hearing you talk about how Shriek wasn't really utilized all that well, because this scene here, you see her like standing her ground,
right?
Carnage, and it made it seem like that was the case through the movie, that Cletus and Carnage were on the same page, and if she could just stand up to him like that, it was basically like it was a marriage, but they were clashing, something like that. Was deep. But then to hear you say this, I'm damn, they didn't even go that route.
No, they really. I mean, they didn't. Honestly, I feel like if she wasn't in the movie, nobody would have noticed.
See, that's crazy. And plus, the one thing you won't bring up that I told you I fucking hated when I saw it
was that
Anne telling Venom how sexy he was to make him go back to Eddie.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those things. That part didn't really bother me because everything that preceded before it, like the whole her, like when she's having dinner with Eddie to tell him about how she's getting back with Dan, and that they're getting married and shit. There's a part where like she notices that Eddie's talking to himself or that he's acting weird. And you gotta remember, Anne is under the impression that Venom is dead. And then when she realizes that Venom is still alive, when she gets that impression, that's when you notice that even though she said that, Venom complicated our life and it made things weird and it just, it turned our life upside down. And even though that was the case, you could tell that Anne still had feelings for Eddie. And the fact that she realized he still had Venom kind of made her, even though she was scared of being back in that relationship, you could tell and they even kind of imply this too, after that scene, she actually enjoys being Venom herself.
Yeah.
Like, there's a part where like she actually does have to become Venom again, like in the comics. And because like what happens after that scene is she becomes Venom. And then she goes and busts Eddie out of jail because he's being detained because, whatever reason, I forget exactly. But and then like when she gives the symbiote back to Eddie, she's like, God, I can't stand being a part. Well, actually, no, I do really enjoy it. And she's like, going back and forth about it. But the part where she's like sweet talking Venom, it's because Venom is kind of a man child. And she was catering to that motherfucker. She basically did what girls be doing when they beat with or like you got your girlfriend, your wife, whoever, your boyfriend, because everybody does this shit. You sweet talking to motherfucker because you're trying to get what you want. That didn't bother me at all. But that said, I think the thing that everybody's really talking about with this movie is the post-credit scene. Because the post-credit scene, honestly, is probably one of the better post-credit scenes I've seen across any Marvel movie, whether it's Marvel Studios or Sony. I thought this was actually pretty slick because the post-credit scene in question is you've got Eddie chilling in a hotel room. Him and Venom are talking out what the next move is. And Venom's talking about how like, oh, I have thousands of years, lifetimes worth of knowledge. If I showed you any of it, it would just melt your brain. And like when he started talking about that shit, that was, so when I told you, I thought they were like, setting up Null. That's why I said that, because there's a part where he's actually sharing his knowledge with Eddie. And the room starts like vibrating and shaking, lights and shit going off, and all kind of weird shit's happening. I was like, is this motherfucker about to see the Clintar?
Okay.
That's what I thought they were setting up. I thought they were going to setting up like Venomized or Venomverse or like like a loose version of it. But which would then eventually lead you down that next direction.
Mm-hmm.
But when that motherfucker woke up, and like it was like a whole other day, and it seemed like he was in a whole other place. That part confused me. But when the TV came on, and and I started hearing Whiplash, I started hearing Schillinger.
Oh God! This motherfucker bringing up old racist Jameson.
Look, I heard motherfucking not Omni-Man talking shit about Spider-Man. I was like, bruh. Because here's the thing. The reason why I think a lot of people were shocked too is that Andy Serkis went out of his way throughout this entire lead up to the release of this movie saying, we're not going. He's like, I would like to do that, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to rush us to Spider-Man. I don't want to rush any crossover stuff because I feel like we still have plenty of Venom stories to tell. This, that, the third. You lying. Literally sitting there that whole time like, you lying, dirty, nasty motherfucker. Y'all did it. These motherfuckers basically what Eddie saw was the last shot from Spider-Man Far From Home where J. Jonah Jameson doxed. He did dox Peter Parker. He done doxed Spider-Man. Now everybody knows motherfucker's address. They know where he at. They can find him. They know his class schedule now.
Vam Rock Siler says, after the movie, the first thing I told the people behind me was killing your villain was proof that Venom was in the MCU.
You ain't lying. See, told you that motherfucker was in the MCU. Now we got to talk about how this shit is setting up X-Men's in the MCU.
Right. So let me say this. Okay.
Yeah.
When I heard him start talking to Eddie about the universe and things like that, I'm gonna tell you what. This is not leading to null. I think this will lead to. Okay. Before I even say that. I don't think you read this.
Which one? Oh, wait, what is it?
But Brian Michael Bendis, for a little bit, was writing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, I did. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So Flash was on that team, and for his symbiote started acting really weird in that book, and then that's when they were in space.
It was like Venom Space Knight and all that shit.
Yeah, that's when Venom told Flash about the Clintar, and they were a bunch of space knights and this, that, and the third.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was doing.
Okay, yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Like I'm the wider world of Venom is basically what I'm kind of leaning on. I don't think they're necessarily. I'm not saying they're gonna just go like, oh man, we're going straight to null. I'm just saying they're setting. I'm saying that they're setting up. They're setting up the shit from the comics. That's the wider world of Venom that. I don't think comics fans. Okay, case in point. This would be like the equivalent of them half-ass mentioning that there's like a mutant island that eats people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're immediately doing Krakoa in X-Men. I'm just saying that it's just kind of you're making a reference to the wider world, that there's more to Venom than just what we've seen up to this point.
People keep asking in the chat, did you get did you think it was a tease to Venom Island when you saw Eddie on that island?
I did at first, because the first thing I thought about was the island of Skull and Bone. That's what I thought about. I thought about Venom Island when I saw that shit. And that's what it was a reference to. Not directly, but like it was kind of like a tease, because there was a point in time where Venom spent a good chunk of time hanging out on a fucking island. But that all of that aside, the thing that really kind of the thing that kind of really sent it home for me is that now you've given Venom a reason to go after Spider-Man, even though technically it's a loose reason. But I did think it was funny that motherfucker started like half-ass kind of getting hot and bothered when he realized, oh wait, this dude's a menace. He's this guy is the new public enemy. He's like, let me go after this dude. I don't know how. I don't think it's gonna play out the way people are gonna kind of expect it to or hope for it to. I think that it's gonna go just because based on the nature of the Venom character, it's gonna be one of those situations that was kind of teased in the movie itself, that just because someone is quotey fingers guilty or found guilty of something doesn't mean they're actually guilty of something. I think it's gonna be one of those like the classic superhero misunderstanding. You're not gonna get Venom having a vendetta against Spider-Man like in the comics, because honestly, that was something that didn't even last that long. It did, and it didn't.
So he's not gonna get his cape, but I'm wondering if he's gonna get the spider symbol.
I think he's gonna get a spider symbol. I think he's gonna like try and make a symbol for himself, and that's what's gonna wind up being the Venom symbol, because Sony is building towards something huge.
Because I'm thinking about something really, really gross that I didn't hope come to fruition. Mm-hmm. But you said something about Venom. You said that Venom was man-child.
Yes.
What better way to incorporate two buddies than you got a man-child on one side and an actual child on the other side in Tom Holland? So what if those two, or like Venom takes a liking to Peter, and then he does that because he wants them to be teams,
right?
Sidekicks, some stupid shit. I don't know, man. I just like the fact that Venom, the post-credit scene basically put not just Tom Holland, but now Doctor Strange exists with Tom Hardy now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing popped in my head.
Not only that, but another clear reference to mutants.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, think about it. We had Ursa Major. Yeah, Ursa Major in Black Widow.
I mean, but I'm not really worried about mutants because I've already told you several fucking times. We already knew about fucking mutants ever since Kevin Feige showed up in Krakoa. We've been knowing about that shit. I ain't worried about that shit.
This motherfucker. But no, I think it's setting up a lot. It set up some interesting things. Actually, you know what's gonna happen? You know what I think is actually gonna happen with this? You're gonna get something kind of close to Deadpool and Spider-Man. I think that's like not saying the same level of goofy, not like with the fourth wall breaking and shit. I just mean in the sense that like you got Spider-Man, who normally is the guy who's like the funny business guy, being annoyed by this other guy who's going to ultimately wind up being the funny business guy, is what I mean. Like in that sense, like, because Venom does do a lot of comic relief, which, you know, for better or worse, take that how you want to. But yeah, I like I said, in the end of it all, I dug it. I thought it was cool. I was with it. I enjoyed it. I'm one of those people. I like the first movie. I like the second movie too. It's one of those movies that ever so often me, my wife, and the kids sit down and watch because she fucking enjoys it, and it's awesome. Also, we'll say too that that song at the end, they brought back your boy Slim and M. Oh, you are muted.
I'm happy I'm muted. This motherfucker said Slim and M.
Slim and M.
Okay, dog. Don't try to make that a thing, man. Slim and M.
Slim and M, yeah, Slim Shady, Eminem, whatever. But no, actually, I even dug the song of it. I don't think I like it as much as the previous one because that other one just gets me hype. But I dug it. I thought it was cool that they brought, even though technically it was just Eminem featuring on a song, it wasn't his song. But I thought it was cool. But anyways, let's see what else do we got. Anything? Oh, we do got one or two things I actually kind of want to talk about real quick before we move on. But I do want to address, we got Mari Simmons in here with the YouTube channel membership. Thank you for that. By the way, for those of you who are channel members, I apologize. I have not released the exclusive, the top 5 comics of the week video this week. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and complete it today. I got really behind on comics this week because I just had so much shit going on. I'm going to complete that this week or this week. Of course, it'll be this week, but I'm going to complete that today and try and get it out to you guys no later than tomorrow. But just so you guys know, I do a top 5 comics of the week every week for channel members, patrons. If you become, I know some people prefer to do Patreon, some people prefer to do channel membership. So I just give it to both of you because, you know, you're awesome. You're supporting the channel, going above and beyond the Call of Duty. But I do the top 5 comics of the week every week, where I basically just tell you what comics I read that I thought were really amazing. I haven't done it yet because not only have I gotten behind on things, but I didn't want to do a half-ass top 5 where I only read like a few things and go like, well, let me pick out of this crop of a few things that I read what y'all want to talk about. I'm actually going to go through. I'm going to read a bunch more comics so I can give you guys an actual full-on definitive. I like to give you the full-on definitive list of the things that I enjoyed. So that said, we also got another here for B Bowl Training, $4.99 super chat says, I think they are building towards Null. Venom mentioned his planet and the hive mind a couple of times. Yeah, no, like I said, I don't think the Null is going to be in the next movie, but I do think that like the franchise they are trying to set up for Venom down the road, I do believe that at some point, I'm not saying it's going to be Venom 3, I'm not even saying it's going to be Venom 4, not even saying it's going to be Venom 5, if they even get that far. But I would not be surprised if by the time you got to a Venom 6 or like some wider narrative in like the Spider-Man side of, the Sony, Marvel, whatever deal, I would not be surprised if Null eventually showed up. That said, we also got Minoru Cole with a $5 super chat. Says Carnage kills so they can bring him back in the MCU. Venom will spit him out, and he will be a symbiotic with Cassie. Shriek didn't die under a bell alive. Dude, did you see what that? Did you see what that bell hit her?
Well, so here's the thing. I don't think the bell hit her. I think the bell more so just shut her the fuck up. I think
that motherfucker looked like it actually crushed her.
I mean, if it did, that's even more funny.
Well, because here's what people forget. Y'all do realize there's a clapper inside that bell that's heavy as a motherfucker.
I wasn't even going to bring that up. I was going to bring up the fact that did you all see how far she fell?
Oh no, she fell like a motherfucker.
Like
I thought they were going Gwen Stacy her.
I thought Anne was going to get Gwen Stacy'd.
I did too.
Especially when Venom kept getting shanked.
Yeah, I did too. I thought Anne was gone.
I
thought she was gone.
But no, like Shriek just fell, and she didn't have a tendril that she was hanging on.
Right.
Sister girl just smacked pavement.
Oh yeah. No, she smacked that shit hard to motherfucker.
Even if the bell didn't do it, that fall sure shit did it with internal bleeding. We call that internal bleeding, sir.
Yes. We got another one. We got $4.99 from Legion X420 says, I laughed at the part where Carnage is saying, Father, you're dead, and the priest and the priest father thought he was talking about him. Man. That part was fucking, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Father, that father.
He's like, no, that motherfucker. Yeah. I actually love that part too. That shit had me cracking. I don't know. Like I said, when it comes to shit like this, I'm easy to please. Like there's certain things like there's certain characters that I'm just like I'm less rigid on, and it's kind of like what I tell people. I don't expect, like when they said this is gonna be called Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I was not expecting them to adapt Maximum Carnage. I was more expecting them to loosely adapt the first appearance of Carnage, which is vaguely what they did. I think because Shriek was there, that kind of made it people more go in that direction of Maximum Carnage, but has to be Maximum Carnage with two motherfuckers. You ain't got no doppelganger, you ain't got no demogoblin, you ain't got no carrion, no nothing. But yeah, that's a whole other story. Same O'Shawn with the $4.99 super chat says, just showing love to the cave. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for that, Same O'Shawn. Awesome out here showing that awesome support. We appreciate it. We also got King Kunta with the $2 super chat says, opinion on the What If episode. Okay, sure, we can talk about that real quick. Carter,
yes,
what did you think about the What If episode with all the craziness?
Are we spoiling what happened? I mean, since
we can talk about it. I mean, we may as well. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the shit. Let's talk about it.
It was a solid episode. Mm-hmm. I don't really give a shit about Ultron like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with everybody else, and I can't wait for Comic-Cons to start happening so that like audience members and fans can basically get on these people's ass and say, you all need to think of something else other than Tony Stark getting killed every fucking episode.
Actually, I think it's funny because I don't like Tony Stark.
I was really, really hoping. I was really fucking hoping that they would have gotten James Spader back. I was really hoping they would have got James Spader back.
That was my biggest issue with that episode, because the whole time the dude kept talking,
if they would have got him back,
dude. Because okay, here's the thing: I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I fucking love James Spader as Ultron.
Yes,
I fucking love that motherfucker as Ultron. And I know a lot of people, they hate Ultron from Age of Ultron. They're like, oh, he's trying too hard to be funny.
I really wish he would have gotten more screen time, because he was good.
I liked the thing that people don't think about when they think about Ultron, because people are like, oh, well, why is he so funny? Ultron's not supposed to be funny. And it's like, we got to think about it. Who is his brain pattern based off of?
Exactly.
Tony Stark. So of course he's going to be snarky. Of course he's going to be making jokes.
There's literally a fucking scene where Ultron says something and Tony says he beat me by 1 second. Because Tony was going to fucking say it.
Right. Tony was literally about to say it. Well, and then the part with Claw. This part where Claw says, because what was it? He says, he's like, sell weapons to your friends or your friends, sell weapons to your enemies, and then find out which is which, or something like that. Yeah. And then Claw's like, Tony used to say that, and he got pissed.
You know, Stark's boys. He was like, do I look like Iron Man?
Yeah. Like I liked it. Oh, but either way, either way,
he did have moments where he almost sounded like James Spader.
You know who it was, right?
No,
it's the same dude who's been taking over for Red Skull. The dude from Walking Dead. Oh man, hear me see here. Ross Marquand. He played, so when Red Skull was in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, that guy. It's the same actor. Which he's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. He did the best he could. But man, if it would have been James Spader, would have been amazing.
So that was a complaint that I had, but that's whatever. I was surprised. Number one, and this was well before the end of the episode, I was surprised there was continuity from the Thor episode to this one.
Yes.
That was number one.
Well, and then the continuity from
for the end of the episode. That one is what really tripped me out.
You want to hear some bullshit? Did you know how long these episodes were originally meant to be? 45 minutes to an hour. But COVID fucked that up. They said because of COVID, they had to shorten some episodes. Also, I don't know if you caught this. One of the showrunners or one of the people behind the show, they came out and said that one of the episodes they wanted to do for What If was a what if Captain America, what if, or more specifically, what if Steve Rogers was president? But they said that Marvel wouldn't let him do it. But they snuck that shit into this episode. Because the part where Uwadu hits the ground and he lands in the middle of Times Square, you see Rogers getting sworn in. I was like, y'all found a way to sneak that shit in there. So basically, they're on the what if, they're in the world that they actually originally wanted to make an episode out of. But I liked the episode. I liked the fact that like Ultron, his whole plan was just crazy. Like, it was like, no, I'm going to destroy everything. Because that's what he wanted to do with Earth. He was going to kill every living person on it. And only thing that would be left would be like him and his, drones. Because that was what would be, the way to keep peace. And dude, the way he clapped all them planets, boy, that dude ate Ego's ass up.
I don't even want to talk about that. The fact, and I guess there has to be a little suspension of disbelief here, but the fact that Thanos was just sliced down the middle like a bologna sandwich, just
like dude, he sliced up Thanos the way your mom used to make you like cut your sandwiches in half in triangles to take to lunch. Zip. That motherfucker got cut in half like PB&J with the crust cut off.
He got cut in half like PB&J with the crust cut off, put in the Ziploc bag that you got to wait till lunch to eat. So when you open that bag, it's wet because of all the condensation.
Look, I did. Well, and it was funny because I saw somebody post on Twitter. It was a little thing. It basically had Vision on one side getting ready to do the little bzz, and it said 1 Infinity Stone, and the other one had Thanos 5 Infinity Stones. That motherfucker just sitting here just like with a cut down the middle, just looking like.
Okay, so Hiryu Noshi just brought up something that you told me you didn't like about this fucking episode.
Oh, yeah. They're making Infinity Stones work in different universes. Yeah. I said that to you earlier before we even started the show.
You literally said that to me before we started this.
Yeah, that was my biggest that's really the one complaint about this episode I had that, like, I mean, other than the whole not having James Spader thing, but from a continuity standpoint, I was like, Infinity, and this is the thing, this isn't just an MCU thing. This is a normal fucking thing. This is in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Infinity Stones do not work outside of their native reality. Now, you can make a case that in the one instance where he was fighting the Watcher inside his little domain, you could almost make a case for that shit. But just the same, they didn't work in the TVA. So why would it work in the Watcher's domain? Because the Watcher kind of exists in a point that's between different realities. So why would these things happen? Why would he be able to do this? Like, I don't know. That was like the one thing, and I feel like it was a gross oversight.
A lot of people in the chat are sounding like you before we hit that intro on the Blerd Cave.
Oh.
Why did Ultron's Infinity Stones work in other universes when they said in Loki that stones don't work? That damn near verbatim what you said.
Literally. Did I not say that? Did I not say that shit? Did I not say that shit? I literally said that shit. Thank you. Look, right here. Right. Wait. Right here. Boom. Bill. They don't work in the TVA. Boom. Done. Cut the motherfucking check. Yeah. I told you. Dude, what did I say?
Yeah.
But
that's when I asked you. So the conversation went when he brought that up. I said, well, what about Avengers Endgame? Those were, he said, no, that was different timelines. That motherfucker corrected me immediately. I'm like, oh, well, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, because basically, yeah, we're talking about like a whole other Earth.
Yeah.
Whole ass other Earth.
Yeah.
I will say though, I did everything else I thought was fine. The fact that Ultron could see the Watcher because it gave us that Uatu had that moment.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
Well, that part didn't surprise me since we had already seen Doctor Strange do it.
Yeah, right. But I just thought it was funny that like the whole time it was the way they did it because Uatu's narrating it as it happens.
Yeah,
and he's like he became aware of another. That motherfucker see me? like he literally all but said, "Wait a minute, why is he looking at me?" Let's see here. Hey, wait, hold on. I want to address this real quick. Michelle O'Rourke, what's going on? Says our Twitch channel next few days. My fiance and I will be interviewing Nightwish on our Twitch channel about their upcoming tour with Evanescence next year. First off, I did not know that Nightwish was on tour with Evanescence. That is fucking amazing. Also, could you tell Nightwish I said hey?
I was gonna say this nigga finna ask for tickets. Watch.
I'm not gonna be able to go depending on where they're gonna be. Because I don't know for those of you, I don't know if y'all are aware or not. Some of you may or may not know Nightwish is a Finnish band. They do tour. I think they tour here in the United States, but like they don't tour here often. But yeah, that is awesome, and I am absolutely fucking happy for you. That is amazing. Just they won't even know who the fuck I am. Like you like, but could you tell them that I love them?
We know you. We watch your YouTube channel. What's up, Ripper? You just go off.
Dude, I would lose my shit. They're like, look, they're like, Blerd who?
The man Moses. Only reason I can give it a pass is that Ultron only used the energy from them. He didn't warp or time skip or something like that. Just energy blasting. That's wrong, sir.
It's still okay. No, go ahead. Because I think you're about to say exactly what I'm about to say.
You can't say that he only used them for energy blasting if he was in different realities.
Well, here's the other thing. Okay, a lot of people may not know this, but go back to, there was a time, I forget exactly what the comment was. It was basically, it was like Justice League versus Avengers or something like that. It was a crossover between DC and Marvel long before Amalgam.
Okay.
Darkseid got his hands on the Infinity Gauntlet because he wanted to have the ultimate power in the universe, and he wanted to take the gauntlet with the stones back to the DC Comics universe so he could run roughshod. When he got back to that motherfucker, them some bitches turned into the same shit you saw in Loki with them motherfuckers in TVA. Shit was a paperweight.
Yeah,
it was fucking paperweight. That was when that was one of I think that was one of the first instances where they revealed that they don't work outside of the native reality. And if you even go back to just recently, Infinity Countdown. Remember what was it with Loki when he went to that place where all the Infinity Stones were being dumped down? It was like millions upon millions of Infinity Stones. So he got exactly what he wanted, but they didn't fucking work because none of them were where they were supposed to be. But yeah, I just wasn't crazy about it. I do. Wait, do you like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, so real talk, real quick. A lot of people don't. I don't talk about this a lot. I don't talk about my musical taste very often, but and I think I've said this before. Maybe I have. I think I've mentioned in the past. I used to be a part of a metalcore band,
a prog rock band.
We actually were progressive. We actually were a progressive metal band. Because for those who know what I mean when you say that, a progressive metal band, the easiest way to say it is the music doesn't have like a set. Like when you listen to a song, you got the verse, maybe you got a bridge, and then a chorus, and you go back to the verse, and then you go back to the chorus, and then you go back to the verse. Yeah, so. It has like a format. Progressive, not just progressive metal, but progressive music in general doesn't do that. The music is always changing. Like it's always evolving to something else. It's like closer to listening to a score of something than anything else. But no, some of my favorite groups, like stuff like Protest the Hero, shit like that. Those are what was another one? Misery Signals, another one of my personal favorites. Yeah. But I also like a lot of symphonic metal as well. Like I actually love I eat that shit up. Like stuff like Epica, Nightwish, and Within Temptations kind of changed a lot, but yeah, it's here or there, whatever. But there's a good chance if you have a metal band that has like a fucking symphony and shit behind it, and you got fucking heavy metal guitars and double bass just kicking, and you got some fine ass, she ain't got to be fine. She'd just be any woman who can sing in front of it.
Yeah,
I'm in. I'm in. But yeah, so there's that. Real quick. Let's see here. Yes, Lacuna Coil. I like Lacuna Coil a lot. I like Lacuna Coil a lot. Actually, one of my personal favorites. They actually do a cover of one of my favorite Depeche Mode songs too, so that also helps. You know what? Real quick, Carter, do you have any opinions on this? I didn't necessarily plan on talking about it, but I guess we can. Did you hear about what was going on with ScarJo?
Yeah, with her, she got her payout, didn't she?
Yeah. So basically, they settled. They came to a settlement. I guess I don't even know if they even completely fully went to court. But basically, they have not disclosed. They have not disclosed the terms of this settlement. They will not be disclosed, most likely. We can probably guess as to what they are, but basically, Johansson herself has actually spoken out. She says, "I am happy to have resolved our differences with Disney. I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done together over the years and have greatly enjoyed my creative relationship with the team. I look forward to continuing our collaboration in the years to come." She goes on to say that I am very pleased that we have been able to come to a mutual agreement. Or actually, rather, this is Disney's. This is their statement. But they said, "I'm very pleased we have been able to come to a mutual agreement with Scarlett Johansson regarding Black Widow. We appreciate her contributions to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and look forward to working together on a number of upcoming projects, including Disney's Tower of Terror," which was another thing that they were working on before all this came up. So basically, what I said was going to happen happened. And you're welcome. Disney broke her off. They said they did it like, look, they got the motherfucker sitting over there. Look, they had, what was it, Donald Duck sitting over there with the calculator, with the thing where you got to go, and the fucking receipt paper come out of it.
That's the noise it made.
Like, you sitting here like, basically, they're like, Mickey Mouse was like, Donald, how much we got? He's like, that's that. That's all he said. And then Mickey was like, go ahead and give her the bag. And that was it. That was it. But also, Carter, I don't know if you know this. Did you hear about the Friday 13th deal?
I heard that there was finally a payout. I heard that the guy won the case.
Yes. The guy won the case.
Yes.
And the only reason I'm bringing this up is not because I do give a shit about Friday 13th, but but it was more because the rights have now been settled. The rights of the movie, those have been settled. It's all been put to bed. Everybody is been made whole, supposedly. Yeah. The guy who originally wrote the screenplay for this shit, he is getting his bag, and that means you're probably gonna start seeing Friday the 13th movies and shit go into production, and you'll probably see the motherfucker show up in Dead by Daylight or something else. Or you may even see the video game try and make a comeback. I don't know. Yeah. The point of the matter is that I bring this up because the reason why this guy was able to this was Victor Miller, the guy who was the original screenwriter for the original Friday 13th. Reason why he actually got the bag, what actually allowed him to sneak this victory in, was because it was due to the it was like we talked about with the shit with the Stan Lee and the Ditko estates. It was due to a provision in copyright law that allows original authors to be able to reclaim the rights to something that they created after a certain amount of time has passed. Yeah. And basically what happened was, because the company, when they were filing copyright, they had to list an employee. Guess who they listed? They listed Victor Miller. So that set in motion the events that, if you consider him an employee when you were filing the copyright, then this isn't a work for hire. Mm-hmm. Therefore, he has ownership of that copyright and he can get it back. Now, here's the question. Did Marvel make that same fuck up? I don't think they did. But that was a long time ago. Kind of around the same time, in the case of some characters versus others. This was more back in 1980. But I would like to believe Marvel didn't make that same fuck up. But even if they did, you know what's going to happen? Go see your girl ScarJo. They gonna put Stan Lee's daughter gonna get a knock at the door, and she gonna see that big ass dump truck full of money, and you ain't gonna hear the Stan Lee estate say shit else from here on out. When the dump truck pull up to the Ditko estate, same thing. And you know what they all gonna be doing? The Stan Lee estate, the Ditko estate, they all gonna be hanging out with the Kirby estate. You wanna know why? Because they did the same thing to the Kirby estate. They said, here, take these millions and millions of dollars and shut the fuck up. That's exactly what they're gonna do. I'm telling you that right now. That shit ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
Watch, next week we gonna find, or no, not next week, but in June we gonna find out that Iron Man now is in DC Comics. And Angela gonna be in motherfucking Milestone Universe.
Okay.
Look, Miles gonna be hanging out with Static and Milestone.
Oh, God.
You already know what's gonna happen. Anyways, Carter, what was your recommended for the week?
My recommended for the week. Oh God. Shit, I was telling you, I was having a hard time even just recommending something just because I said even when the season started, I was just gonna be recommending every episode of Doom Patrol that dropped.
Damn. This man. I mean, you wouldn't be wrong.
I would, but I mean, I think we talked enough about it at the start of the show. Honestly, I think my recommended this week is just going to be crossover number 8, the return of that book that Donny Cates has not been sued for yet.
You mean that book that he mentioned, the Joker and Carnage and Why the Last Man in?
Yeah. Another wild issue of crossover. In this issue, we actually have our main characters get the Valifax tased out of her ass by the Powers Division.
She got lit. She got lit up. I was not expecting that. I didn't expect them to break her off so easy.
It was funny when they bust in and she was like, "Oh yeah, I know you guys, Power Division, Bendis and Owing." Yeah, it was a good book. And they were just like, "Bitch, we don't know you. Don't be telling us who wrote us, bitch. Who are you?"
I laughed my ass off. Well, and the thing is, I love that they were just as irreverent in this as they are in the Powers comic.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Crossover is fucking amazing. I'm sorry. There's no way you can convince me otherwise. And I guess for me, what's gonna be my recommended for the week? I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into this because I'm still trying to put together my top 5 for the fucking week.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm a cheat. I'm gonna tell you that if you did not read, oh no, you know what? Fuck it, I'll do this one. Because I already did a video on this. I've already talked about it. Deathstroke Incorporated, number 1. I like it. Joshua Williamson, who some of you may remember, he was instrumental in the Flash. He was on the Flash when DC Rebirth kicked off. I've loved just about everything he's done with Flash. Shit got a little weird there towards the end, but I actually kind of dug what he was trying to do. He's basically taking Deathstroke, putting him in a position where Deathstroke is trying to see if he can become a good guy and make it stick. Because Deathstroke's always kind of flip-flopped over the last, this is more of a recent thing, like in the last decade or so. Deathstroke's kind of flip-flopped back and forth between being a good guy, bad guy, or some guy who's ethically or morally ambiguous, but he's actually trying to be the good guy. Like, he's making a wholehearted effort to try and see if he can leave a legacy behind that's not just, oh, well, I just kill people for money, shit like that. Also, the fact that he's teamed up with the Black Canary, I think is awesome because, and I know some people probably will see that pairing and go, well, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
But you got to remember, dude, Deathstroke is legitimately, he's legitimately one of Green Arrow's greatest foes.
Yeah.
Like, he's the dude that Green Arrow don't really like to see coming. And I love the fact that this is also like Deathstroke and Black Canary kind of jibing at each, kind of ribbing at each other. Like, oh, well, what about your boyfriend? He know you hanging out with me? That type of shit.
So number 1, Deathstroke has been trying this good guy thing since Priest run, not too long ago. Number 2, when I read this issue, I was trying to figure out where all this Batman shit came from, and I'm trying to, was it because of Joker War?
A good part of it is, yeah. Because remember, Batman's not as rich as he used to be.
I do remember that, and I remember he gave a lot of that shit to Lucius Fox. So that's why I couldn't discern like where the fuck did they get all of Batman's stuff from to use it for this. And
well, so the trust organization Well, I mean, they're shady, and it's very likely more due to that, more so than. I mean, it is also due in part to Batman's financial issues lately, but it is also due to this organization.
Yeah.
Because trust is basically the best way to describe trust is their shield. If Shield was like even more shady, and shitty, like in terms of like moral fiber, because their whole thing is getting the good guys to help them take out other bad guys. And the person who is in charge, or not, I won't say she's in charge because technically she is the director of trust, but even she works for somebody else. I think her name is I want to say her name was like Juliet or Juliana Ballantyne. That name struck me as odd because there's another character in the DC Comics universe named Ballantyne. And it's the character Libra. And part of me wonders if she's connected to that, like if she's the sister or some kind of a relative of some sort of that character, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, I just like the dynamic. I just like the dynamic. Seeing Deathstroke ride in on a fucking Batmobile and just murking motherfuckers, I was like,
and the one thing I'll tell you, because you brought up that being one of Green Arrow's greatest rivals, it seems like Green Arrow knows something with Deathstroke is going on because they allude to that in the most recent issue of Justice League. He knows that Black Canary is going off somewhere, but she won't tell him where. And she knows he knows now that for whatever reason, there's a shitload of Deathstrokes running around. Because they were able to discern, like some looked like they were from Checkmate, some looked like they could have been from somewhere else along that line. So it seems like Ollie may be involved in this book at some point.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna see him in the book. I think we're gonna see him in the book. I don't think there's any question. I would be shocked if we didn't see that motherfucker.
Okay.
Also, I like when Joshua Williamson writes Green Arrow because
I have faith in him since fucking birth. What's that? Is it Birthplace? No, Birthright.
Yeah, Birthright. Dude, I keep forgetting about that. I need to finish Birthright. because it wrapped up. Yeah,
it wrapped up a couple months ago. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. Wow, was that a knockoff Captain Atom? Okay, so let me help you out here. I know what he's talking about. Okay, so Carter.
Yes.
I don't know if you realize what they're talking about.
So is he talking about the guy on the cover of Crossover?
Yeah, he was talking about the guy on the cover of Crossover.
I had somebody ask me if that was Freakazoid, and I bust out laughing.
Oh my god. Okay, so here, let me. I'm gonna bring up an image because I want y'all to see it. Now I want to explain this real quick. This is not supposed to be Captain Atom. This is Madman.
Yeah.
Some of y'all some of you older comics fans probably know who this is. I don't know too many newer comics fans who do. But Madman was around for a minute. Madman's not a new character.
Did you do a video on Crossover?
I did a video on the kind of like a review of the first 7 issues.
Okay, well, Shane Perkins, I know you're saying that you're a little out of the loop. What is this Crossover book that we're talking about? Ernie did a video. I can actually find that and put that in the chat for you while he explains who this Dr. Manhattan Captain Atom knockoff is.
There you go. See, Madman is a very different type of character than if you look at this character, you see Dr. Manhattan, you see Captain Atom. It's a very different style character.
Yeah,
that's what I'll say. I'm not the most versed in the character, but it's not what you think it is. Not what you think it is at all. Let's see here. Here, wait a minute. Let's see what this is. Let's see. Yes, I'm very fucking proud of you for this shit. That is amazing. That is amazeballs, by the way. like literally, like I mean, yeah, that is something like hell. I wish I could talk to fucking Nightwish. Group's fucking amazing. The music is fucking amazing. Motherfuckers are awesome. If you've never, like I always tell people, if you've never listened to Nightwish, do yourself a favor, go look them up, please. Please go look them up. It is amazing. Here, let's get to here. We got super chat from Chi-Town Dan with the $5 super chat says, "What are your thoughts on the conclusion of Spider-Man Kindred?" I have no thoughts, but Carter does. We recorded a video yesterday where Carter talked about it. I had very little to say in it because I haven't read it. So, I won't lie. A part of me was kind of like hesitant to release that video because it will come off as kind of mean-spirited when I went back and was listening to it. But I'll probably go ahead and just release it and just let y'all figure it out for yourselves. But yeah,
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, well, you've already watched. I think, or you went back and
no, I didn't.
Did you go back?
Oh
wait, because I haven't posted yet. Duh.
Yeah, you haven't posted yet, but I can't. Yeah. Knowing the audio issue that there was.
Yeah,
I can't go back. It's just gonna make me mad. It's gonna make me more mad.
I understand. I fully understand. Like I feel your pain. Here let me.
Fuck it.
Yeah, we got some questions. Yeah, we got questions.
Christ. Fucking Kindred.
I know, man. I know. Let's get into questions for the Discord real quick, and then we'll jump into then we'll get into questions from the chat. We got Dude Man says, "What's good, my brothers? Hopefully, y'all are having a blessed week. Here's a question: what are some quotey fingers, holy shit moments that have stuck to you till this day?"
Comic wise,
yeah, if we're talking about comics.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead, shoot.
Sleeper, because that was Ed Brubaker. I think
you might be right.
I think Sleeper was Ed Brubaker. That was the first omnibus I ever fucking owned.
Now I'm looking it up. I'm sitting here like, who?
I'm looking it up too.
Here, let me see.
Yep. Okay. I'm talking about the original, not the one when they redid it. It was under Wildstorm at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
The ending of Sleeper was a holy shit moment to me because it was basically kind of like this. It was a superhero thing, but not really a superhero thing. Long story short, if you know what, I can combine this with something else. Sleeper's ending had a holy shit moment, and a movie that is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's with Jude Law and Forrest and the Ghost Dog, Forrest Whitaker.
I know, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a film called Repo Men.
Yep. I love that movie.
Okay. All right.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The end of that movie is the end of Sleeper.
Yes.
And Sleeper came out first.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure whoever came up with it probably read Sleeper.
Oh, apparently a lot of people gave that movie shit because of that Paris Hilton Repo the Genetic Opera.
Oh, Repo the Genetic. Yeah, because technically they are kind of vague. They are technically the same thing, but honestly, I'm the weird one here. I don't really like Repo the Genetic Opera, so
I've never seen it. We just used to sell it when I worked in Hot Topic, and I thought it looked fucking stupid.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
I liked Repo Men though.
Repo Men was lit because I also loved how Forrest Whitaker was just playing like my uncle.
Your uncle ever tased me, I would drag that nigga in the street. Forrest Whitaker in there tasing motherfuckers just to be funny. What up, bruh? With a fucking cattle prod like Scott Hall or something.
Goddamn.
But yeah, if you've ever seen Repo Man and you know the ending to that movie, the real ending to that movie, not the alternate ending, the real ending to that movie, there was a comic that came out with Ed Brubaker called Sleeper. It was basically the same thing. And it's a lot more heartbreaking in Sleeper. It catch you off guard in Repo Man because it's fucked up. And Sleeper, it hurt. It hurt.
Yeah, I believe it. For me, Shadowhawk. The Shadowhawk series. There's a point where you get about, I think, 8 or 9 issues deep into Shadowhawk before you find out who he really is. Like, you see other characters throughout the course of Shadowhawk that, like, you think might be Shadowhawk. Like, they kind of try and play with you as the identity of Shadowhawk. And then there's this character that's running around called Hawk Shadow. And Hawk Shadow is a white man. Shadowhawk is black. But Hawk Shadow is white man. He runs around beating up criminals and killing them, but more specifically, he kills black people. And anyone who he sees is a race traitor. There's like a point where like this interracial couple is getting jumped by this gang, and the guy shows up and he kind of runs the other people off, but then he kills the black man because the black man is dating a white woman. And then they don't show what happens to the white woman, but it's heavily implied he kills her too, because he calls her, for all intents and purposes, calls her a race traitor.
What is this Tyrone Bigum's ass shit you reading?
It was Shadowhawk. So Shadowhawk, it gets to a point where Shadowhawk finally encounters Hawk Shadow. And remember, by this point, we don't know that Shadowhawk is black. We have no clue what his identity is. There's a point where Hawk's Shadow is fighting him, and he's like, dude, I don't understand. I thought that me and you could work together. I'm just trying to be like you. And he's like, you're nothing like me. He's like, yeah, I am. He's like, I'm just like you. I kill niggers. And then that point, that is an actual quote from the comic. Next thing you know, Shadowhawk takes the mask off for the first time, and you see this black man who is so fucking angry that it's partly because it's raining, but you can also tell he's so mad he's crying.
He's crying, yeah.
And he proceeds to beat he proceeds to fucking beat the Dixieland out of Hawk Shadow. Like, you remember, like, back in the old, like, Attitude era, like back with Stone Cold, he'd be doing the kicks it looked cool, but you know, them kicks was weak as rainwater. But that bubble just be like, just kicking motherfucker in the turnbuckle. Imagine that, but a motherfucker got steel toe boots on. That motherfucker got adamantium tip boots on. He was beating the bullshit out that dude. And I'm not gonna lie, that comic changed my life. Yeah. Because when I was reading it, I had no idea. I didn't know what the fuck Shadowhawk was. Yeah. I honestly assumed Shadowhawk was white. Because most Image Comics characters were. Yeah. You know, so that was back in the 90s. But I did a video about it. If y'all ever have time, go look at my video for Shadowhawk.
See, now I want to talk about fucking Southern Bastards, because that's another really big holy shit moment. First arc of Southern Bastards, you meet a gentleman by the name of Earl Tubbs. Earl Tubbs is in Alabama. His father just passed, and he's just going back to his childhood home to get all his dad's stuff together and then get the fuck on, because he hates being back home, don't really want to be back home. He just wants to get his daddy's shit, clean the house out, go on about his business. He then sees that the town has gone from sugar to shit because of one reason. This is Alabama. This is a football state. We know about the South and football. And basically what you realize is that the football coach of the Running Reds is the name of the football team. The football coach basically runs the town.
Right.
And Earl he doesn't want to do it. He really don't want to do it, but just who his dad was, he can't stand for it. And the one thing that people knew, because his dad had some lore behind him, people were terrified of Earl Tubbs' dad, because his dad used to walk around town with a stick, a very big ass stick. And if he saw some tomfoolery going on, if he saw some mess transpiring, you felt that stick.
You was gonna catch it.
You caught the stick. So he's screaming at his father's grave because when he goes back to his childhood home, there's a tree growing out of his daddy's grave, but there's a lightning storm. And while he's screaming and yelling at his daddy, a lightning storm hits the tree and a branch comes down that just so happened to be look damn near close to his daddy's stick. So basically, he has took it upon himself with that stick to clean up his childhood town. And we get to the end of this arc. It's finally him versus the coach. We finally finna see the coach feel that stick. And Earl Tubb gets clapped.
Oh, what?
I'm thinking this book was setting up Earl Tubb. This was going to be some fire shit of him going back and forth with the coach to clean up his town, get rid of the drugs, get rid of the corruption, get rid of all the bad stuff so he could make this the town that the town should have been when his daddy was alive. And he gets fucking beaten to death. And that's just the first arc.
Damn.
And to add a little bit of salt on that wound, the coach goes to the funeral. He's so saddened about Earl getting killed. He takes that stick, puts it in his office, even buys Earl a burial stone, buys his dad because his daddy had a stone that said, here lies a man. Or it was basically saying it was his father's stone said, this is a man. And the coach buys one for Earl right next to his daddy. So with his daddy's tombstone saying, this is a man, Earl's tombstone, because of the coach, this isn't.
Right.
That's what that tombstone says. Here lies a man. This isn't. And that's first arc. Now you see why I want Jason Aaron to get his ass back on that book.
So I saw someone ask who wrote Shadowhawk. That was Jim Valentino.
Yep.
Jim Valentino. Matter of fact, here I'll even kind of show you a little something here. This is actually from the video that I did for it. But I'm not playing the audio of it, but just kind of showing you like what's going on here. Let me go back a little bit. There it is. But yeah, dude's basically like, hey, I'm out here just kind of doing the same thing you're doing. We're exactly alike, you and me. I'm only doing what you do. I'm only killing. Well, there you go. You see it right there. And like just the way that I actually misremembered it. He was not crying. It was just the rain. He was just pissed. He was really pissed the fuck off. And yes, Shadowhawk did have HIV. But not like because he was out, just getting freaky with it, every week. He got injected with it. But yeah, when that motherfucker pulled that mask off, hey, you see that motherfucker literally look. He pulled that wave cap off, and he proceeds to beat the bullshit out of Hawk Shadow. It was pretty crazy. Fucking love Shadowhawk though. Shadowhawk was an awesome comic. I don't know if Jim Valentino did any of the rest of it, but it was interesting. It was interesting stuff. But yeah. All of that aside, let's get to we got another one here. This is from Donut Maker Sakazuki. Says, forget church, the Blerd Cave is where it's at. Saturday service is a session. What's good, y'all? Marvel Studios exceeded my expectations with What If. It's not the best show on Disney Plus so far, but as a fan of the comic book What If, it was a great execution of the MCU version, which I would agree with. My question, now that we got a taste of an animated format from the MCU on Disney Plus, what projects would y'all want to see brought to Disney Plus as an animated series? A continuation of the 90s X-Men series, Marvel team up with MCU characters or just lesser known characters for me. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a follow up to the 90s X-Men series, or if they just did an updated X-Men series, whatever. I'd be fine with that. Honestly, I would like for them to just do more animated series in general, because I feel like that was when people cared more about those characters, or not more, but that's when people were eating up those characters more. You had people going to the comic shops more often because they saw the cartoon, their kids watching. Oh, my kid's watching Fantastic Four. My kid's watching X-Men. They're watching I Am Iron Man. They're watching that bullshit. But no, I would like to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm down for it. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Okay, here. Carter, do you have one?
I could be a troll and say Fantastic Four just so I could hear that terrible theme song again. But I don't think you really. Well, no, it wasn't you that wasn't a fan of it. But
what are you talking about?
Wolverine and the X-Men.
I fucking love Wolverine and the X-Men.
Okay, I can't remember who that was when we were talking about it. They said they weren't really a fan of it like that. But honestly,
I fucking love Wolverine and the X-Men.
No, I don't want to see that animated. I want that to be a live action.
What you got?
Do Fantastic Four, but let it be the cast from the last movie. Do an animated. Let Four stick the animation. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And no, that's what you got to call it. You got to call it Fan Four Stick. You have to call it Fan Four Stick.
Bring back the MTV Spider-Man series. Yeah. Bring back Eon Flux right here so I can see that fly crawling on her eyeball again. Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, Urban President Strong Style says, hey, Blerd, have you seen the comic book origin of Cybertron and the history of Autobots and Decepticons? And I gotta say, I have to side with the Decepticons because what I'm reading, from what I'm reading, there were a lot of slavery and corruptions going on in Cybertron, and the Autobots did nothing about it. I really hope they put some of the history of Cybertron from the comics into the movies. I don't know if they'll go that far, but I will definitely say I haven't really been keeping up with the Transformers comic per se. Yeah. But
I've been trying to keep up with Beast Wars. I've been trying. It's interesting. It's interesting.
I haven't been keeping up with the comics. I have been watching the animated, the new stuff they've been doing on Netflix. I've actually been enjoying that.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to keep up with the comics lately, but
I forgot about those Netflix ones.
Those motherfuckers get pretty raw.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, that's kind of the point of a lot of the current, and this is not even anything new. They've been doing this for a while.
Yep.
The way that it works is the distinction between Autobots and Decepticons wasn't a thing until the conflict started. It was something that kind of happened, at least the way it used to be. I don't know how it is now, but it wasn't like you were born a Decepticon or you were born an Autobot. It was just a thing that, like, when the stigma that, not the stigma, but the schism that happened that made people start choosing sides, that's when they became what they were. People just were what they were. They were just fucking Transformers. But the thing is, they've been trying to for a while to make a compelling argument for why Megatron does what he does. And I've seen it done in the past. That Megatron, he did it because there was corruption, there were bad things that were happening, and they just had very different ways of going about tackling those issues. Whereas Optimus was more on the political side of it, and Megatron was more on the war style of it, that whole thing. But but no, that's pretty cool. I have to go back and take a look though. I'm curious. Here we got another one here. from Shadow the Cat 99. The post-credit scene in Venom Let There Be Carnage was so good. Do you think when I do a MCU rewatch soon, I should watch the Raimi trilogy, Amazing Spider-Mans and Venom movies? Also, are you gonna watch Squid Games on Netflix? Actually, already am. I watched first 2 episodes so far and loved it. Just wanted to edit quick. Your Shadowhawk video is one of my favorite videos of yours. Thank you for that. Also was one of my favorite videos to make. Shadowhawk is a very interesting comic. I wish more people knew about it and talked about it. But yeah, I think Venom would be a nice addition into that. Yeah. I think you could get away with especially especially the Raimi stuff right now. But I would also say yeah, even Amazing. Here's the thing: I don't hate Amazing Spider-Man 2. I do not hate Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't think it's a great movie either, but I don't hate it. I enjoy it when I watch it. I laugh at it sometimes for reasons that the movie probably doesn't want me to laugh at it, but I don't I'm never like, oh my God, this bullshit. Like, I'm not that hyperbolic when it comes to shit like that. I can enjoy a bad movie or a movie that's not as good. Actually, I think the Amazing Spider-Man movies, the biggest crime they committed was just being okay. That's the biggest crime that they probably committed. And then trying to do too much. Trying to build towards something that nobody asked for, but now people are asking for, oddly enough. It's proof positive that people's opinions change as we get older and as we spend more time with stuff. But Venom, I think is perfectly fine. You just slap that motherfucker right there after you watch Far From Home, and then boom, you in there. Let's get into
let's
chat? See. Yeah, let's get into the chat. Get to the chat.
I see one off top from .31. Would you rather see sex criminals live action or animated? You could only do sex criminals in comic form. You thought I was going to say one or the other, didn't I? You could never.
No, I knew. I'm
talking about everybody else. There's no way in hell you could do that show live action. There's no way in hell you could do that show animated, because the nudity and the sex is a part of the show. They go hand in hand.
You have to.
You can't have one without the other. So you can only do that in a comic. Honestly,
I literally just reread the first volume of Sex Criminals when I was on the plane, plane right back from being a Dragon Con. Yeah, and there's no way. Like, honestly, I kind of felt uncomfortable reading it next to the two people. I was sandwiched between, because on the plane, I had a white woman who was probably about my age, roughly, sitting next to me, but she was clearly not into comics. And then there was another white woman that was a little bit younger than me to my left, who was into comics, but she was only really into Marvel and DC. And we ended up having a very interesting conversation about what I was reading afterward, because while I was sitting next to her on the plane ride, I reread the first volume of Wicked and Divine, and then I read the first volume of Sex Criminals. And when I got to Sex Criminals, I could tell the conversation that we were I was like, oh wow, we're about to have a very interesting conversation after I finish reading this.
That's what I've told people several times, and people ask me, what's the premise of Sex Criminals? You can't say it with a straight face and not have motherfuckers look at you funny.
Right, no, because I was explaining it, because one day so Cynthia, my wife, she casually heard me mention the comic Sex Criminals, I was talking about it with somebody else. She heard me casually mention, she was like, that sounds like a really problematic comic. Mm-hmm. Because when most people hear you say Sex Criminals, where their mind goes to is they think
pedos.
Yeah, pedos.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I was like, it's not that. I said, it's literally two people who can have sex. And when they have sex, time stops. And she was like,
you could put it on Cinemax late night and you could do adult animation, but those shows don't last. Look at Stripperella. No. Even though Stripperella was a comedy and it was on Spike, it didn't last. You really can't do that. I see another question in the chat. Blerd Without Fear and Carter presents, if y'all could permaban one thing from existence, what would it be? Savage Dragon.
Ooh.
Eric Larson gets no bag. Fuck out of here.
I almost said something real ugly, but I'm gonna be nice.
Go on, say it. Go on, say it. Bald demon. Go on, say it.
Ripper.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry.
That's cold.
I'm halfway
cold.
joking, halfway not.
About
I'm not
a
joking.
motherfucking thing.
I really
That's cold. That's
cold. Did we talk about Squid Games last week? No, we didn't.
Not.
It was brought up, but at that point, I had not watched any of it. I've watched some of it. I haven't watched all of it, so I can't really talk about it intelligently. But I will say that it's definitely something different. I mean, it's not actually. You know what? I take that back. I'm not gonna say it's something different because I have also seen. I've seen shit like Gantz and Alice in Borderlands and Battle Royale. So is it the most original thing that I've ever seen? Not exactly, but the way it is executed and the. Remember how we were talking so much shit about Yorick?
Yeah.
Why the Last Man? The main character of Squid Game. That motherfucker's a piece of shit.
Okay. Funny you say that. My coworker started watching it at work 2 days ago because she asked me if I'd seen it, and I explained to her what it was, but I hadn't seen it. And that was the one thing she kept saying was that he is so cringy. All the stupid shit he's doing, it's making her not want to watch it. But then she kept watching it, and all I could hear was Simon says so and so, and I'm like, what the fuck is she watching? And then I heard hollers, so I'm like, oh, righty,
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's because it's.
I didn't even realize it was a series. I thought it was a fucking movie.
No. It's a series.
Okay.
It's a series, and basically, dude is just terrible. He's a terrible, like, you know what? I'm gonna try and be kind here. Just dude has a really bad gambling addiction, and he tries to use his gambling addiction to get rich quick. And just as even when he does wind up getting money, he ends up fucking it off. And he owes people, and that's kind of why he's in the game to begin with. But it's just like the build up to it is like he's so terrible of a person that just like, I actually don't. I'm not okay. So remember, like I think ways back we talked about Breaking Bad, like how on any other show, Walter White is the bad guy, but you're rooted for Walt because he wasn't a piece of shit from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of a lovable guy.
Yeah.
And then he became a terrible person. No, this guy's terrible from the jump. And you do like honestly, I because he's a protagonist, it feels weird to root for him to fail. Because he's that terrible. Like I just don't like him. But
I felt like that when I watched the first Don't Breathe. I was hoping that blind dude fucked them up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Like even though those people, they're technically your protagonist. Because I remember the first time I saw a trailer for Don't Breathe, a part of me wondered if the blind guy is actually the good guy in all this. But then you realize, nah, he ain't the good guy. That motherfucker. And then it was when we watched Don't Breathe 2.
Yeah.
I was like, because that was the first thing I said when I saw a trailer for Don't Breathe 2. I was like, y'all really trying to make this motherfucker likable? Y'all want me to root for the dude with the turkey baster in the basement with the girl? Okay, all right. The guy that's holding the girl hostage with the turkey baster with the Siemens in it. You want me to root for this dude, especially after I done seen this dude get the turkey baster poured in his mouth.
Why don't you make it plural? Why don't you say Siemens? Why don't you make
I'm just saying.
Why'd you make it plural?
Dude, I'm just look. It's kind of like you get older. You don't go to Kroger anymore. You go to Kroger's.
Oh God, you're right. You are absolutely right. Well, they did put the S on there.
Yeah, right. I think if you know what, let me.
Oh God, that's like Sinbad in Sinbad.
Yep.
Is there an S on Kroger's?
There's not. Kroger? No, it's just Kroger. It's just Kroger. But we say Kroger's. We say Kroger's when we get older.
No.
That's how you know you're getting old when like you start pluralizing shit. You just like, oh yeah. Like, matter of fact, I want to check something real quick, just because I'm curious.
Uh-oh.
Okay, never mind. It has an S on it. I was checking Walgreens. I said, what if this whole time it's just been Walgreens, and we just been saying Walgreens so long that like we just like, yeah, fuck it.
Bro, do you know the first thing that popped into my head is Wendy's really Wendy's or is it Wendy?
It's just windy. Look, dude, you know what fucked me up the other day? I was watching the Dion Cole stand-up on Netflix. I think it's the only one that's on there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a part where like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Dion Cole, but he does this little gimmick where he's been doing this for a long time, but he'll pull out a notepad and a pen. And he'd be like, well, I came up with some jokes and I want to test them out. And basically what he'll do is if the people laugh at one of the jokes, he'll like do a little check mark and he'll smile. But if one of the jokes don't go over, you'll see him start scratching shit out. There was one he did where like, the whole crowd been with him this whole time. And he's like, have you ever thought about, he's like, I was sitting at Arby's the other day. And I started wondering, is Arby's, is it because they sell roast beef sandwiches and it's Arby's? Like, is in roast, like R for roast and B for beef. And the crowd just stood there silent because they were doing what you're doing right now.
Oh shit.
They were all like, huh? Wait a. And then he was like, scratch that shit. He said, I thought we was here. He said, I thought we was here, but we really down here. And I was like, and then the folks started laughing. He was like, never mind. Go ahead and keep that one. But no, I thought that was funny because I was fucking with my wife the other day because she mentioned, we were watching that together. Yeah. And then like the next day she was talking about, man, I really want Arby's. I said, do you want Arby's or do you want Arby's? She cracked up laughing. Anyway, let's see here. What else we got in here? The thumbs. I say Ray Fisher. Nah, I'm not gonna say Ray Fisher. He's all right, man. He just need to go on somewhere. Let's see here. Was a Creed all said? So if Marvel Studios decided to introduce Hyperion or Squadron Supreme or Squadron Sinister, do you think it would work better if they are introduced as Avengers villains or Thunderbolts villains?
Neither.
Yeah, here's what I would do if it was me. I also would just make them what they are. I would just make them a superhero team that just does things differently. Like
I would make them a superhero team, but their boss or their overseer is like shady.
Like
it's almost like a Doom Patrol. Almost. Yeah. Make them the chief.
Okay, yeah. Case in point, which is kind of technically what they did. Not Coulson. The chief part, but with Coulson, they did that with this Heroes Reborn. It's like they were good guys. They worked for a shady individual. Yeah, and like they thought they were legitimately doing good. They thought, and I think that's how. Like if I did it, that's how I instead of going the Heroes Reborn route though with the whole convoluted Coulson thing, I would do it where. They work like say, remember how they tried to do with New Avengers when they made it like a reality show? Leave out the reality show part. Or actually, no, better example. Vought. Make a corporation like Vought.
Okay.
But like have them oversee like, oh, this is our corporate sponsored superhero team, and like we do press meetings and they kind of almost kind of what they even kind of like what they were doing in Jupiter's Legacy. When like they would do press stuff and people like, oh, can we get an interview, this that, and the other, so on and so forth, stuff like that. But make it kind of like but the organization they work for is shady. The team itself not so much. Or maybe the team is shady too, but they're still good guys. They're just not as pristine as the Avengers are. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would do it. That's just me though. But yeah, let's see here. Squid Game is like Dead Man Wonderland. God, I haven't thought about Dead Man Wonderland in some time. Shay person, I might grab some Burger Kings. Hey, Burger King sound good to motherfucker right now. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. You know what? Let's see here. What Yeah, let's get on. Let's get on down here, man. We are. Oh wow, Carter, what do you got going on this weekend, brother? You are muted.
San Andreas on the Vita is what I have. I'm just fucking with you. I am gonna be on, I am gonna be on this Vita though, dude. I have restarted. I have made about to be 5 different save files for Darkest Dungeon because I get pissed and I wipe the save.
This dude.
Darkest Dungeon will make a motherfucker mad, man. Let me tell you. The cheap shit. It makes me not want to play these fucking board games because if the dice rolls work in Darkest Dungeon, Dungeons and Dragons, you go fuck yourselves. Okay.
I will say this: when I play, like, okay, there's a difference between virtual dice and actual dice. Yes, actual dice will fuck you over too. Fair, but whenever I play, like when I'm playing like D&D on other people's channels and shit, or I'm playing like games with virtual dice, I always feel like those dice fuck me over way more.
Yeah.
Because, like, I kind of, there's a method to dice rolling when you're doing it physically.
Yeah.
Because I can bank that motherfucker off. See, I got one of the board game tables where the table's inset. So I do that. I roll the motherfuckers like we had the craps table. I'm like, bam! Make that motherfucker hit off the, like, roll it towards the corner. So go, clack, clack, clack. And then, like, that's that. When I feel like that's just, you know what, I ain't gonna lie, that's some hood shit. Yeah, that's actually some hood shit.
But anyway, other than Darkest Dungeon, honestly, I'm just waiting for next week because Metroid Dread is coming.
Oh yeah, oh dude, I'm glad you said something like that. Oh, and I'm getting my OLED Switch. Gold hit me up. Let me know that it is a lock.
Yeah,
it is a lock.
You know what? One thing I wanted to ask you, and I
don't want to
cut you off.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about New World?
It's a game that I wanted at first till I figured out what it was.
What does that mean?
So I thought it was just like a big single player story game. Then I found out it was an MMO.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it's an MMO? Well, maybe it's an MMO where I can kind of do shit on my own and just chill. And then I found out, I've watched people play it. No, it is not. And MMOs require so much time, and I don't have that kind of time. Like, I'm barely getting through Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now. So yeah, no, I'm good. I'm totally good on it. Plus, I heard it's bricking motherfuckers 3090s. Nah, I'm good.
You got to cut the ray tracing off, man. You got to play it in 1080.
Look, see, Cause see, that's how you know it's some bullshit. That's how you know that, like, okay, this is how you know a game is on some bullshit when it's destroying motherfuckers' powerhouse computers. However, it's like, oh, well, you know, if you turn off the one thing, you mean the one thing my fucking card was built for? I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yes, Shane, or not Shane, Shadow the Cat. We know that Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl comes out. But again, so does Metroid Dread. And Metroid Dread gets played.
Yeah, I'm gonna be brutally honest. Metroid Dread, the reason why it's gonna get bought, like, you know what? Because of my kid, I'll probably wind up buying the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. But Dread is gonna get bought first because I don't really play Smash Brothers that much.
Yeah.
But I do want to play it. Actually, I have more interest in All-Star Brawl than I do Smash Brothers.
I actually need to hit up Mercury Steam, see if I can get us some codes.
Okay.
I actually do have a good relationship with them because
okay, look at this.
It was a game of theirs I did some streams for, like official DLC, like yeah.
This guy.
I need to holler at them, actually. I need to make some emails happen.
Yeah, you might want to call a motherfucker. This man out here just casually. Yeah, I used to fucks with him, but you know, like I used to fucks with him. Oh, this dude.
Yeah,
this motherfucker got the hookup.
I just thought about it.
Let's see here. Here I can answer this one real quick because we're still here. What is the future of superhero comics in your opinions? I love what My Hero Academia is doing. I think the future of superhero comics is, gonna keep going the way it has been going. I mean, My Hero Academia is awesome, but honestly, if you didn't have superhero comics in general, you wouldn't have My Hero Academia because Kohei Horikoshi, the guy who created My Hero Academia and all that entails, guess what he is? A fucking huge fan of Spider-Man. That dude has more American comic shit in his office than he has anime shit in his office. If you read or watch My Hero Academia, look at any character, and I guarantee you will see an analog to a Marvel Comics or DC Comics character. He's more a fan of Marvel than DC, but I mean, you can look at his stuff and you can tell he actually reads superhero comics. He has some characters in My Hero Academia who are just one nut hair shy of being blatant ripoffs of even recent Marvel Comics characters. So and it's not a knock against him. I think it's great because it is actually kind of reinvigorating people towards superhero comics. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Let's see here. Bill 930505 says, "Is Destiny's Mask in the Oracle? Is Destiny's Mask in the Oracle of Cerebro that exclusively revived her back from another timeline? Does it also make the Oracle Mystique's own no place?" Okay, so I don't think Mystique has one. I don't think Mystique has one. I don't think she has one. But considering everything that happened lately, Carter, did you read Wolverine?
No, yes, I did. Yes,
okay.
I did. Yes, I did.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mystique had something similar to what Solem has.
Okay.
Like maybe she might have her own like cradle or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be interesting. Let's see here. Superheroes out, wizards are in. Well, okay, here's the thing though. So Froppy, the frog girl. Here's the thing about Froppy. Guess who she's actually an homage to though? Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
Think about it. When they describe her powers, what do they say? She can do whatever a frog can do. They say the same thing about Squirrel Girl. She can do whatever a squirrel can do. That used to be how they used to describe Squirrel Girl's abilities. She can do whatever a squirrel can. Let's see. Oh, Sammy Wilshire asks, are we going to release any horror recommendations for the month of October? You know what? It is October. I keep forgetting that. You know what? I tell you what. You want something to watch? I could cheat and say the thing I said last week because someone did ask something similar. But I'm not gonna do that. I will say this though. Elvira.
Yeah.
Just recently, or I say just recently, I think it was actually recently on Shudder. She just recently did like a horror movie. It was like a short horror movie marathon. She like ran through like I think it was her movie and 2 other movies. Definitely worth a look.
Okay.
And for me, I usually just watch random and sundry shit. But now that you mention it, I think it's a movie that might be on Hulu. I have to double check the title.
Okay.
I have to double check the title on it. Oh no, I don't. It's it's called The Wretched. It's a movie called The Wretched. I think you can find it on Hulu.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's really good.
All right. Well, since he gave you something to watch, I'll give you something to read. This is easy for me. Okay, this is going to be a thing that I do in October now because I never finished it.
Yeah.
Read it. This is easy. This is a comic written by Tim Seeley. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do.
It is called Hack Slash.
Mm-hmm.
This is written again by Tim Seelig. If you're a fan of Nightwing, if you were a fan of Grayson, really fun book. It's basically imagine Buffy but busty light bars, going after your horror movie archetypes. And instead of a Spike by her side, she has basically a hybrid of Jason and Frankenstein.
Yeah. It's actually really fucking cool.
Yeah. Hack Slash is really good, especially when they get into the actual icons, like when she fights Chucky and shit. Yeah, Hack Slash was a good series, and it's several fucking omnibuses. So
yeah, it's a lot. Is it? They completed that, didn't they?
Yeah, they completed that.
Okay, yeah.
It was in a humble bundle, like the entire series a few years back.
That's right.
Yep, that's how I got it. Yep.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Yep.
But that said, I think on that note, we're gonna get up out of here. I'll be back, of course, next week.
We'll be live for him tomorrow.
Oh yeah, almost forgot. Oh, guys, make sure you're still here. Go check out blerd.radio tomorrow. It'll be going down. It'll be 8 Eastern. So like what? It's like 4. What is it? It's like 4 for you.
8 Eastern is 4 for me.
Or wait, or would it be?
It's 1. It's 1:10 now.
I don't do time zones, man. Leave me alone. Anyway, so 8. Oh, it'll be so it's like what 5 then I guess would be like 5 o'clock for you.
We making an appearance. We famous.
Yeah, we famouses. We're gonna be on blerd.radio tomorrow. So make sure y'all tune in for that. I will here. Actually, let me get the link. Let me get the link to the Twitch channel. There it is. Shebang bang. Here we go. I'm gonna put it right here in the chiz at for you. But there it goes. We'll be on with those guys tomorrow. Make sure to go check it out. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m.
This motherfucker said Mountain.
What it is Mountain? Was it in
You gonna say Yellow Brick Road next?
I probably will. Anyway, we're gonna be there tomorrow. Come check it out. We'll be probably talking about all sorts of bullshit, and it'll be awesome and fun. The whole gang there is awesome. We might start some shit because I know last time we started some shit, and then we just kind of sat back and then watched it unfold. But anyways, we're going to get out of here. We will see you guys next time. We love you. Be easy. And if you can't be easy, then, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. You just got to figure something out. Peace.